Ray.
Angie, I thought of you just about a few hours ago, actually, because I was watching Ferdinand the Bull, this movie, and
What?
It's
yeah,
not a cartoon, it's a movie.
it's a movie, but it's like an animated movie.
Okay.
It's called Ferdinand. It's about a bull who likes to smell flowers and shit, but he lives in Spain, so
There was a
people try to
book.
bullfight him and kill him all the time.
Oh
Oh,
no,
yeah.
not
Book.
Ferdinand.
And why did that make you think of me?
Because there were 3 animated hedgehogs who were his friends.
Ah!
What kind of bull chooses to live in Spain? I mean, that's
That's a
weird,
really
man.
hazardous place. Yeah,
Oh, he
that's not where you,
suicidal.
An adventurous one.
Mm-hmm.
He must be suicidal, I say.
Hmm.
That's a
Yeah.
death wish from Spain as a bull.
Yeah, why does Spain hate bulls? I mean,
They don't hate them.
They
They
have
enjoy them for sport.
Spanish.
they literally like scare the shit out of them, run them through the streets,
Like I
and then
said, they have
stab
more
them to death.
balls than the Spanish people themselves. So I assume that's why.
I feel like it's just really shitty to be a bull in Spain.
Well, it's really fun for a long while, but then there's that one
does
day
it?
with like, oh shit, I hate being a bull. Like they have fun for the whole year.
I mean,
Being
maybe
the
if you get
bull.
to like gore one person in the streets first, I mean, maybe it's worth it. But eventually, you just get like stabbed to death, like slowly.
Yeah, that's the downside. There's a downside.
The downside, you die.
Yeah, but
Well,
sometimes you get to take a bunch of them with you.
I mean, do the bulls ever win?
Oh yeah.
Well, they win before the bullfight. No,
Yeah,
they're
you know,
used to for
when they
breeding.
serve-
They breathe all year, and then
Well,
shit, son.
See,
Well- you know when they serve bull balls? Well, when it's the smaller ones, that means that the bull actually won.
No, I don't know when they serve bull balls.
Rocky
I
Mountain.
mean, I feel like if any bull is getting his balls served, he didn't win. Like, I don't know how you put that in the win
Actually, that's a
column.
Spanish delicacy, didn't you?
Yeah, what are you guys drinking?
There's only one word we can say to that, though, isn't it? Bullocks.
Bullocks. Dog bullocks.
Ah,
Well, I wouldn't want to be a dog in China either, actually.
Well, no, because you can't speak Chinese.
Yeah.
You'd be misunderstood every day.
they eat dogs in Korea.
Well, they gotta eat
Fine
something.
meat.
I mean, they might be delicious.
Oh no.
What happened?
No. I couldn't eat my mother's dog.
Oh, not
Nah,
that one
you mean-
specifically.
They're old. I guess they get kind of gamey. You really want to get them when they're young.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, puppies is what you really want to eat.
Puppies,
They're
yes.
Oh no.
Hush puppies. Eat a hush puppy.
Some rabbits. No, we're at it.
I do eat
You know-
rabbit.
Rabbit is delicious, though.
Yes, it
in
is.
spaghetti sauce. It's great.
Yeah. What's spaghetti sauce?
Yeah, but
It's
instead of,
bolognese?
spaghetti sauce with pork or anything, you make it with rabbit. It's really, really good.
Never heard it was spaghetti sauce.
You never
Well,
heard of spaghetti
You're not
sauce, man?
Italian.
It's
I have heard it. I
it's,
have heard from spaghetti sauce. I never heard it with rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that sauce goes well with spaghetti? Is that what you're trying to convince me?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Well,
you go use full pasta.
we're,
you guys
we're in the
just
twilight zone right now.
Eat dry pasta in Portugal?
Well,
They
you
only
don't?
eat dry.
I don't know. What do you guys do? Just like eat fish and dry pasta? That's so sad.
Well,
I
at
feel
least
like
you know
if
we eat fish. Yeah, we
If
do.
any
eat
of
a
that
lot
is
fish.
true, then I feel like I'd rather be a bull in Spain than a human in Portugal.
Let's be a bull in Spain instead of an actual citizen.
Right.
Like,
I'd rather be a Spanish bull than Portuguese, if that's true.
Then it's a Portuguese fish.
Do you
All
guys
right.
like fish and dry spaghetti?
Yeah.
Okay.
what
That's not
about
really
fries?
my jam.
Though?
No
What
sauce.
No,
what's
no, I've
nails?
never heard of that. Sauce with spaghetti. It's
Here.
very alien to me. First I've heard of it.
Oh, okay. He's just kidding, people. He's just kidding.
I
You
don't
never know
know.
what kind of weird Dracula shit he might be on.
It's the only sauce we love. Blood.
Oh, yes, of course. That's what he has on his pasta.
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 Is it okay to say pasta? Don't you have to say spaghetti or something?
No,
Well,
because
that's one
spaghetti
type
is
of
just a
pasta.
type of pasta.
Correct.
There are lots of kinds of pasta. I have most of them in my cabinet. It's like I collect them. Like I don't
What?
really eat a lot of pasta, but I always buy it. I don't know
You don't
why.
make it fresh?
Fuck no, I'm
Oh,
American. I don't do
that's
any.
It's
fresh
America. What is
pasta.
fresh in America?
I mean,
Except
just
the drama, there's
someone
nothing
else
fresh
did.
in
I mean,
America.
look, I'm way too 1% to be making my own pasta. I fuck around and I don't change my own oil. Okay, in my car, someone else does that shit. I, you know,
no,
I
that
don't like.
making your own pasta. That's too much.
That's too much, man. That's
No, it tastes so different.
yeah, but isn't it just a whole lot of squeeze for relatively little juice?
No, it's not.
Like I don't even make my own pie crust.
I don't do it all the time. I'm saying it's but sometimes I do, and everybody loves it.
I don't even know what to make it out of. What do you make pasta out of?
You make it out of semolina flour.
See, I've never heard of that. That shit sounds Portuguese.
It does.
So that's why it's so good because it's part Portuguese, right?
Is it really? Did I nail that? Sweet.
Yeah. I did try to make pizza dough once, like once. That was it. Like
I mean,
it's
how
much
is it
easier
different
to
than
order
dough?
it.
If you have a bread machine, pizza's easy because you just toss the stuff in and it makes the dough for you. And
Well, yeah.
I didn't know you could buy pizza outside of the home till I was in college because my mother always made ours. I didn't realize you could go somewhere and make it and get it.
I have 2 frozen pizzas in my freezer right now.
They're disgusting.
Oh
So do I.
no, I can't eat. I can't eat frozen. Not frozen.
I mean, you cook it first. You don't
Don't
eat it while
you
it's
don't.
frozen.
I know what he means. It's
Don't
not.
you?
Let's not eat it. Yeah, let's eat it while it's frozen. Of course, why not?
By the way, in case you're inspired, I put a link to a recipe for rabbit sauce.
You don't freeze your tea and then just say I'm drinking iced tea right here. Or you're just trying to gnaw off the ice cube or something.
That's
true.
actually kind of hilarious. Like
It would
the
be.
iced tea idea is actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
it's
going to
funny.
bring it out as a thing now.
It's actually very cold tea. It's not iced.
Iced tea. Whoever thought about like using the cold tea bag instead of the ice? I mean,
Somebody
kind of a
left
good
it out in the
idea.
cold.
Some Neanderthaler.
It's kind of a good
Uh,
idea.
What was the guy who milked the first cow thinking? No, that's the
Yeah,
other idea.
that's a
What was he
valid-
trying to do?
That's
Yeah,
an
he was thinking that
excellent
calf got milk. He was going to get some. He was starving.
Sure.
Again, who was the first guy who ever thought that checking a cow's ass to find its temperature is a good thing, or in any like whose idea was it to put something in somebody's ass to find their temperature? Like who the fuck thought of that?
Here's the thing. I want to think that only started after the invention of thermometers, but I can't guarantee it.
You just know that.
But I can't
not-
guarantee it. You know
After
what
a
I mean?
few years, oh man, this works so much better with a thermometer.
You just know that the guy who
Finally.
put my finger there.
I was just
Oh,
It's
just
like a
wasting my
chicken or egg
time.
thing. Did they invent the
Medieval
thermometer
finger
first
jokes.
or the ass check? Which one came first? Hey, now that we have thermometers, this will really speed along the ass checking.
I've never heard somebody willingly go there and say, "Hey, you got a thermometer? Check my ass." I mean, come on.
This could devolve very quickly here.
We have not mentioned Game of Thrones or the show or the game
I
in a
feel
very
like
long
maybe
while.
we should wait till we're recording for that.
Fuck it.
We are
we
recording.
are.
I've
Oh my
already
God.
tagged it.
We haven't even seen the last.
Are we actually recording?
Yeah.
Did you get all
You're
the like
fucking
temperature ass check stuff?
Yes.
Was that live?
I got it. I got it all.
Okay,
You
James.
know what? There's got to be warning next time before you click the record.
No way.
Don't
Like
warn
like
us.
like when you're
Oh,
checking the temperature.
hello.
James is going to be there. He said he's at Kroger, and you didn't give him a heads up long enough, so he's going to be a few minutes.
The interwebs. Here we are. Talking about thermometers.
Hello.
Hi, Layla.
Hey, Layla.
Hey,
How are you guys?
Hey, Layla.
Oh God,
I'm good.
they've just had
Well-
me in stitches.
Pull my finger.
So you're having too much fun already?
Oh, we're just taking
Oh.
the room's temperature.
For a bit.
That's disgusting.
That's funny though.
So what's everybody been up to?
Oh, we started. Actually, we were mentioning that everybody was kind of dropping off, like playing the game or not being online as much. I don't know. Have you guys found any substitutes for? I don't know what to call GoTA. But
I've been playing. I've been playing this like Plarium game called Vikings War of Clans, and it is not as fun.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I started playing it, and I guess the only reason I kept playing it is because I had a lot of time on my hands, and I'm still playing it like now, but it's not it's not awesome. It's a money grab. It's one of those pay to win cash grab games. So there's only so much you can get into it, you know,
yeah.
when it comes to your emotional time and energy. And like the level of give a fuck you can give about a game. Like the fact that it's like super pay to win is like a hard ceiling on the amount of give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know
Also,
what I mean?
yeah, when your friends are not your friends' performance is not dependent on your performance, it's hard to give a fuck about a game.
There is some teamwork involved, which is nice, and it's like it kind of scratches the itch. What is fucking potato chip?
What is this?
What's that?
That's a potato.
What is?
Is there
Is
an
this-
earthquake in Australia right now?
No, I just got my delicious apple spice muffin out of its bag.
Oh, it's not dry pasta because we were talking about that.
No, it's a muffin.
Oh, it's a muffin.
About it.
Sorry.
Slightly better than dry pasta.
I was trying to be quiet, but apparently
No, it was
picked
not
up the
quiet.
noise.
It was not quiet at all.
I don't know what kind of muffins they have in Australia, but that one seems to be behind like a hardened plastic force field barrier.
Sorry.
I was trying to be quiet.
Opening a bag of chips.
I feel like now.
What?
What's
Are you
that?
saying you're hungry?
Yeah.
Well, that muffin is delicious. Sorry,
I'm gonna
can't
grab my
share.
chips now.
Sure, go ahead and rub it in. I'm starving.
James is on.
All right.
Hey, there it is.
Hi,
James
James.
can.
Oh, with a camera on. We're gonna see some whole action.
What part of Jay, give me a little bit of a heads up. Did you not comprehend?
How much is
He turned his camera off.
The hell?
You got a good amount of heads up, man. By the time I checked, I was already 37 minutes late.
Come on. I'm trying to get
Got
beer
me
for
this
tomorrow, and this is what I get.
Yeah.
You think you're special, James?
Yes, I do.
So have you guys been?
Go-
You found
this
any
is
other
cool.
games? Is anyone else playing another game?
I'm
I'm
playing like
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
I'm playing a few.
I'd bet I was almost willing to bet that
Is she-
John would be playing like Call of Duty or something, because that's what he was doing before Game of Thrones.
That's what I was doing before Game of
Yeah.
Thrones. But then they came out with the Xbox One, and I never bought one because I was busy playing GoTA. And now I'm like, no.
Now, but that changed your opinion, right? Like shooters or team play.
I mean, I like team play. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't have time for that.
I've been doing some D&D too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Not bad, I guess. I mean, it's a tight group. It's like on a how do you call it, like a 3D avatar-ish game. So it's like but we just use D&D rules to make it more fair combat-wise.
Yeah. I've
I
never
don't like
played.
fair. I
What?
like no, I don't like fair. Why does it have to be fair?
Fair is overrated.
Spent like three games being not fair to everyone. That's not my thing. If I can
Not
play a
like
game
we're
that
stealing
where I can
Christmas
crush the
again,
enemy,
Luke. It's not like we're
it's
stealing Christmas again. Sadly.
Well,
After GoTA was over and after March to War finally died, I haven't done anything really. Because a few of the March to War people tried to play something, a few different games, but nothing's really stuck.
So DB's down to just Star Trek now?
As far
Yeah.
as
they
I know.
still have that.
Yeah, remember they got that big grant from somebody to keep it running.
Yeah, they have money for that one. That one's still pulling in money. And Vic sent me a press release that he saw on the internet where Radoff was talking about selling like this new engine platform that DB's coming up with.
Yes,
Or
yes.
something like that.
I was laughing the whole way through because it was something that was this very big involved project, and I was just thinking, how is he going to pull that off?
So instead of the hamster power, what are they using now? 2 monkeys in a hamster? Or
I still think that's too evolved. I'm probably squirrels.
Yeah, something between hamsters and monkeys, definitely between. Yeah, squirrels, raccoons, something mid-size.
Yeah,
Furs.
I would say probably the monkeys
They were
are
using
what they're using
furs.
for engineers. It's squirrel power with monkey engineers. There you go.
Ah, I get it. Seems logical.
But hell, the
but
last
if
time I saw anything from Radoff, he was like in South Korea, and then he was going to Japan, and then he flew back to Massachusetts, and then he was flying somewhere else, and I finally
Can't
got
talk
sick
anybody
of
into
it.
anything, can he?
Do what?
He can't talk anybody into anything. He keeps striking out everywhere.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, he's been posting some job, like recruiting things. I've seen a couple of them on Facebook not long ago.
For the right amount of money, I'd work with him.
What's the right amount of money?
I'd
A lot.
probably do it
A
for
lot.
95 or 100.
How does a Java application look? DB looks for monkey.
Hey, Jennifer's here.
So they're not using hamsters anymore, Layla.
Hamsters, sorry, no.
Oh, it looks like DB are not using hamsters anymore.
No.
They've upgraded.
They upgraded. Shock horror.
Shark-collared hamster.
Well, they clearly need to go to the hedgehogs.
No,
That's
they
the only
don't.
way.
I think
Don't
we-
you think like hedgehogs would be the only animal that's more lethargic than a hamster?
It's got spikes. So anybody that complains, they can get spiked.
There
I
you
feel
go.
like everyone complained and everyone got at least metaphorically spiked.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. Oh, damn, my garage door. Okay, there it goes. Say my garage door wasn't open, and I was about to.
You know, for a game that we played for so long, it was so disappointing to see it kind of unceremoniously just go out with a whimper, just like
It did,
decline
didn't
to the
it?
point
It did.
of total
was-
uselessness.
It was just like the show.
I was waiting for that.
Sad.
Mercer. It was foretold.
Well,
I like the show. I like the show.
I still have to watch this episode.
I think I might be in the minority, but I did like the show.
I did as well, Luke.
It was all right. A bit disappointing, though. They rushed so much
Right.
through the whole.
Yes.
It's not their fault. Like,
No,
What are you
actually,
gonna
it
do?
was their fault. It was definitely Dan and Dave's fault.
I'm
I
with James.
see.
It was absolutely their fault.
I'm blaming James.
Big Dave.
Let's blame James for the GOT way it ended.
Yeah,
Big
it's,
Dave for D&D. Absolutely.
yeah, it's all
Fucking
James.
I'm going.
go.
It's all James's fault.
So I got to this point in the final episode where they're wrapping up all the Stark storylines.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
start thinking to myself, I'm like, there's only like 10 minutes left in this episode. They have like 1,000 character storylines to wrap up. And then I
Right.
realized, nah, everyone's dead. Never mind. Never mind.
Well,
Everyone's
What's-
fucking dead. Like all these
Huh?
storylines.
You know,
Everyone's
that
dead.
last 10 minutes with it, where it was just, tying up Sansa, tying up Arya, and tying up Jon.
Who cared?
That was the best 10 minutes of the whole season.
Yeah.
Yo, they wasted hella time on the
my-
last 2 or 3 episodes. They wasted hella time on shots of people walking, like
Yeah.
establishing shots of people just walking for like 45 seconds, and there's like 15 of them in every episode.
Well, the
Do you-
first 2 episodes were they had used too much time, way too much
Oh,
time. The first 2
yeah.
episodes setting things up.
you guys know that the King of the Hill show, the
Yeah.
animated show? You know,
That's what
when
Bobby
there's
Jones little
with
bastard. What the hell
Yeah.
are you doing, son?
exactly. I know James wouldn't know it. When they're just saying "yep" and drinking their beers.
Yeah,
The first 2 episodes was just that.
Yeah.
They were in Winterfell, literally drinking and just chit chatting. It
And
was just 2 whole hours of that.
they could have cut that to 1 hour. I mean, it was nice that they set things up, but considering what else they had to get through, it was way too much time on that.
So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna say it out loud. What I've been thinking. And I think other people have been thinking it too. But I'm gonna say it out loud. If you read the books, then you remember that seasons 1, 2, and 3, like the dialogue from the show was word for word straight out of the
Correct.
book,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, as soon the exact moment where the shows got out in front of the books, the writing went to shit.
Yeah, that was about
Yeah.
season 5.
Well, yeah, they're not the author, so
No, they're not
Yeah.
the author, but they like this. like Hollywood started creeping in. You know what I mean? Like some dumb shit
I
started
think it
happening.
was. I think you're right. I think it was actually season 3 where George kind of. Yeah, I think he kind of bowed out of all of it. I think there was something that happened between him and D&D, and he just kind of stepped back. And I think that was the end of season 3. So 4 and 5 kind of tied up everything, and then after season 5, that was all on them.
I know that they consulted with him about where he saw the story ultimately going, so they had a rough framework of where to take it when they were on their own.
I don't think they necessarily did everything he said.
Right? No, of course
they got
not.
his opinions, but they didn't because he came out saying a month ago or so that he felt they were trying. He said that everything was way too rushed, and they needed at least 2 more seasons to finish it up appropriately.
The characters started becoming like a little bit more like Hollywoodish in the lines they were delivering.
Yeah.
And
it was fan service. Yeah, it was fan service for a while there.
And I also noticed like really small dumb shit that was like made me roll my eyes. But look, I love the story. I love the show. I love the book so much that like I'll forgive them that little shit and still love the entire thing. But like dumb shit started happening where I'm gonna give you an example. And you tell me if I'm taking this like too far. There was that fucking scene where Jon and Sansa are talking, and Sansa's trying to tell him, to worry about Cersei, and he's trying to fucking worry about the dead or whatever. And Jon says to her, "There's 2,000 miles between Cersei or here in Cersei, right?" That's what he reminds Sansa of. There's 2,000 miles between Cersei and us. When the fuck did they start measuring Westeros in miles, dog?
No, I mean,
well, that's TV, John. That's TV. You need to have a frame of reference. You're not going to say blip lords or whatever the fuck.
They could have measured the distance in time. They could have said a fucking 2 months ride or fucking something.
Yeah, I agree with John.
But like, fucking miles? What the hell, dude?
Isn't that what Americans use?
It's super American. It's super fucking Hollywood-ass American.
So you're complaining about that? Jesus Christ, man! I'm never happy.
They fucking Americanized Westeros with one dumbass word.
Oh yeah, if he used kilometers, then the internet would just fucking implode. Why kilometers? Why are they using the metric system?
The point is, good writing would have noticed and sidestepped that whole issue.
Right.
Good people would have noticed the fucking Starbucks coffee cup. So there you go.
Or the water bottle. Did anybody see the water bottle?
I saw those, but I only saw them on like Reddit or some shit afterwards. I did not notice.
Wait, the water bottle. The water bottle was from Sam, right? So you don't know what Old Town brings.
The water bottle was under Davos.
Well,
Davos
and Sam. There were 2 water bottles. Sam and Davos.
I didn't see the one under Sam. I saw the one
maybe Sam brought the water bottle technology from Old Town. You don't know that.
Hey, how did he end up being like how did he become the Archmaester in fucking 5 minutes? How'd that fucking shit happen?
I don't know.
Because they all
he's
did.
a dropout. He's a Citadel dropout. He absconded
because all
with the
died and there's really no
Daenerys
made him that.
Yeah, they pardoned him.
All right, okay, so he got a pardon, but it doesn't mean he got a degree.
Obviously, he did.
Well, but
how is he going to get promoted above all the Archmaesters?
Exactly is Sam?
Because there aren't any left, are there? It's the only one.
No, they're all alive.
Get to stop wearing black.
It was the only one left, wasn't he?
Old Town is the only place that went untouched for the whole fucking show. They're just happy. Winter hasn't gone to Old Town.
No, Motown. I think we can assume Motown's fucking gone, dude.
Yeah.
Last Hearth is gone. Motown is gone, bro.
No, I'm so Old Town, not Motown.
Old Town. Yeah, Old Town didn't even give a fuck.
No, nothing. Like it's the best place to be. If you're going to Game of Thrones universe, just go to Old Town.
Yeah, Old Town's the spot.
Sam took the books, so there's nothing left in the to make any new Archmeister or whatever they're called. So Sam is it. He's got the books.
No, because Old Town didn't get touched. So all
No,
the same.
Yeah, but
the Citadel is still at Old Town, and that's what I'm saying. What exactly is Sam? He's not the Archmaester.
He is. They called him the Archmaester in the last small council meeting that we see to wrap up that storyline. He's the Archmaester.
Did he have a chain?
But there's multiple Archmaesters.
Yeah.
Maester
Did he have a
Archmaester.
chain?
Is he the Archmaester of the Crown? Is he
The Grand Maester or whatever? There's like one. I don't know what the fuck it is. Okay, but
apparently he wrote Ice and Fire, so he's gonna get sued for
No.
J.R.R. Martin.
No, he didn't. No, he actually.
He's gonna get sued.
He helped name it. He didn't write that.
He named it. Yeah, he didn't write it. He named
Well, the branding's still not his. Get your lawyer. Get your lawyer.
I got another point here too.
What?
I feel like Sam needs to be wearing black no matter what his job is because he swore an oath.
It's more slimming.
No, look, I thought the Night's Watch was dead. I didn't know that there was a Night's Watch left to send John to, but if there is still a Night's Watch, then Sam's oath is still in effect. Just because he's a maester doesn't stop him from being a man of the Night's Watch. Because Aemon was a maester, and Aemon still wore black, and Aemon was still a man of the Night's Watch. So if there's still a Night's Watch left to send John to, Sam needs to be fucking respecting his oath, damn it.
Well,
okay, but here's the thing. Think
He's on
about
the diet.
Think about the whole last bit with John though, and this is me kind of just visualizing and kind of going on my own little road here. If you look at the two guys that took John back to the wall, once he got to Castle Black, there were no other Night's Watchmen there.
I was looking. I didn't see any either.
Because there's not a Night's Watch anymore. That was all set up to get John out of King's Landing. That was it. That was how that was set up.
There were other castles.
To take him back, because the thing is, if he had two options, he could either do that or be executed. By taking the black, going back to the wall. Now he's gone. They'll never see him again. He can't come back and say, "Hey, I'm Aegon Targaryen the Sixth." I want the. That's gone. It's done. He's now totally out of the picture.
That makes sense.
That was set up just to appease Grey Worm and the Unsullied, so they could get the hell out of Dodge and go to Noth and get fucked up by poisonous butterflies.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate for a second here. Would you want those 6 episodes, the time that they had, that they would save some time to set up that the Night's Watch is still a thing? What kind of scenes, what number of scenes, what size of an episode would you want for that to be set up with no context until the very last scene?
Well, like I said,
is that doable?
Just too
5
drunk.
minutes.
Or desirable?
5 minutes and a little bit of dialogue to answer.
Okay, so you set that up. So
I
everybody knows that something's going to happen in the last scene. So it would kind of cut from the surprise. Like, okay, so the Night's Watch is gonna play a role at the end. Like, I'm fine. I don't need to know why they need a place for rapers and thieves and murderers. That's their penal code.
But I don't get. That's what I didn't understand. So James is saying those two guys that were in black who took him up to the wall weren't actually Night's Watch. It was all just a ploy to get him out of there, get him out of danger, and he's gone. That makes sense. Because without that, I'm left wondering, like, did John just abandon those two guys? Did he abandon the watch when he went north in the final scene?
He did. Yeah, he did.
So, but did he leave a Night's Watch behind, or were there never a Night's Watch?
No,
I
there's
don't
gonna be a Night's
understand.
Watch. They said like we need a place for the murderers and thieves and rapers.
I know,
The
so it
criminals.
looks like
But they're at peace with the wildlings, and the Night King's people no longer exist.
Well, yeah, they no longer
if there was
existed for
Night's Watch
2,000
there,
years, and then they
Purpose is
came
not
back.
just
That's what really
Right.
pissed me off about the Night King. I mean, for 2,000 years, he was stood and rolled over everybody. And Arya goes up in like less than a minute, wipes him out.
that was like a
Yep.
Liu Kang flying attack, though. That was badass.
It doesn't matter. It was too
she
easy.
did. She jumped from the other side of the screen.
She was
Wait,
on the
wait.
other side of the
Liu Kang
Godswood, bro.
flying
She
kick.
came in.
That was exactly what that was.
Why did she yell just as she was about to stab him? Like, stay quiet, girl. Like that's why he saw her. Like, why? Surprise attack! Like,
I was like,
you don't do that.
Can we talk about something kind of? Can we talk about something kind of awkward?
Sure.
Like
Sure.
the brief sexualization of the Arya character.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
let's make her a whore.
But did you know
What?
actually Maisie herself was the one who kind of did that entire. That was all her. They brought the idea to her, and she actually was like, "Oh hell yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it."
It's to make her more independent, make her look more independent. She says, "Oh, I'm like these guys. I don't want to die without having sex."
I get it. I understand it. But then again, like I remember season 1, episode 1, like she's like 10 fucking years old. So do I want to see her side boob all these years later? Okay, kinda, a little bit. I do.
Yeah,
But
kinda.
I feel bad about it.
Alright.
Kinda.
But I feel bad about it.
Now we're going to pedophilia. Sorry, I'm Belgian. I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. But no, I mean that's that entire thing, and Maisie is, and going back to a lot of the stuff that she went through, like the entire was it season where was it she actually went north and went to the river? Was that season 2?
Season 2, she was on her way with Lami.
She was on her way with,
and Hot Pie and
with
whatnot.
Jockin and yeah. All of that, those like season 2 through like season 4, before they actually discovered she was, before she kind of got out of the whole "I'm a boy" kind of thing.
Yeah.
She talked of, there was I actually read this today. She was talking about how, these last few episodes was really, kind of her undertaking, because she had, the costume wear had been, tailored to her being to look like a boy. It had really, the entire Arya tomboy kind of thing, and she really wanted that expression to be available. That hey, I am a girl. Hey, I am a woman. Here it is. And I kind of get that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I agree with how they wound up shooting it, but I mean, I do kind of get why they did it.
Okay.
No, most of the characters in Game of Thrones, the kids, they were way younger in the books than in the show, right?
Yeah.
Way younger.
Yeah.
Way younger.
Yeah, like I think right now in the book,
Why
Jon
all of a
is
sudden make the
16.
most, why make one of the most, like, smallest characters, like, smallest as in, age? Why would you make them go to, like, this random guy that she knew, like, what? How many episodes did
It's
Gendry
the
show
only
up?
guy she showed any kind of interest or attraction in the show.
Yeah, true, but why would you, do that on the last season? It's like,
I wasn't
honestly,
You hadn't
comfortable.
seen
I
him,
wasn't
but you
comfortable.
hadn't seen him
character have to have
season 2.
a fuck sometime. Like, what?
I don't know.
Maybe
It just
I think it goes back to.
So honestly, why does every female character have to have a cock in every season? Like, what's the
Well,
point?
yeah.
Well, it's like fucking
Game of
Braun and
Thrones.
Jamie were saying. Maybe it is all cocks in the end.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh God, I thought that was funny.
But it's not wrong. I mean, really, it's kind of how it is. I mean, I'll tell you what. I think the last season, the biggest screw up for me, I really felt that the whole Brienne thing, her character just got literally by Jamie got bent over and just ran straight up the ass.
She loved that shit. She's been wanting that like the whole time.
But that whole thing was just uncomfortable. I don't even know how to describe it. It just wasn't.
I thought it was an important break for Jamie because I think one of the character points about Jamie is that he had never been with anyone except his sister.
So let's fuck a giant.
And Brienne had never been with anyone at all, and I just I thought that was a pretty justifiable character moment for both of them.
Oh, you're talking about the.
Oh no, I thought that was predictable. That. Those two were bound to end up in the sack.
I was rooting for Tormund.
Oh hell yeah!
Me too.
Do you want to know why they call me Giant?
Tormund deserved that.
I was actually rooting for Tormund and the Hound. You know, they had that talk in the north when they were beyond the wall, and they were kind of flirting.
Oh,
you remember that?
Yeah, I like it.
Like, are you trying to suck my dick, you dick? What's dick?
Did everybody
Cock and the old dick. I like. That Tormund is just the greatest cat.
When the Hound and Sansa were having their little conversation,
did
you see Pod getting his thing on at the back? Go back and watch that scene.
Oh man, I gotta watch
at the
that.
table. Here's Pod standing back there with a chick on each arm, walking off with him.
Fuck yeah!
I saw that. I'm like, oh, fuck you and your magic cock.
The man with the magic cock.
Hey, and Pod with the magic cock, because it is all cocks in the end, obviously.
Oh, yeah, but
Pod made the Kingsguard.
Yeah, but who is also a virgin?
Pod is not a virgin.
Pod
isn't.
No, he isn't.
Are you crazy, Pod?
Puts it down.
Tyrion took care of that for you.
The tripod, Pod.
Tripod.
They call him tripod.
If you remember, in the drinking game, when Tyrion says to Brienne, "You're a virgin."
Yes, she was.
Oh, Brienne's a virgin.
Brienne was.
Yeah, but then no, but who picks up his drink and starts drinking it when he said that you're a virgin?
Was it Jamie?
No, it's Pod.
Oh yeah.
You go back and watch it.
I think Pod was drinking because of the uncomfortable.
When Tyrion said you're a virgin,
let's go to instant replay.
It wasn't.
You think Pod was maybe thinking a squire's work is never done?
Yeah. Well, if you need me to saddle that horse, here I am. Pod will take one for the tame little lady.
I mean, how, there's no way that he was even a virgin. I mean,
no, I
think
he was drinking.
Who can't remember that face?
He picked up his drink and he drank it as soon as Tyrion said you're a virgin. He just went.
But I think though he was drinking.
That it just didn't cut out.
No, he wasn't.
I think he was drinking because it was such an uncomfortable situation. It was one of those.
Yeah, it was awkward.
Shit, did you really just ask that? It was one of those kind of.
It was like he was drinking. He's like, he said it out loud. We don't say this one out loud. Everyone knows it.
Exactly.
Nobody says it out loud.
Exactly. Nobody says that out loud.
I don't know. You make of it what you will, but I thought, well, he's picked that up and he's drinking that because he
Don't you remember the hookers?
Tyrion sort of hit the nail on the head kind of thing.
No, it was Tyrion and Bronn that got him the whore, wasn't it?
Yeah.
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 No, got him like
Yeah.
3 of them, and he
Not
rocked
3
all
of 'em,
their
yeah.
bodies, and then brought the money back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that was-
reminds me. We never got to hear the end of the Tyrion joke. He walked in on a brothel with
And the
a donkey and a
honeycomb,
honeycomb.
We'll never get the punchline to that joke.
Damn it.
Horrible. A joke that never finished.
It's like that. Well, it's the same. It's the joke from The Breakfast Club that nobody ever heard the end of. You remember the movie The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the guy's climbing through the ceiling, like he's in the ceiling tiles, and he's
Yeah,
like telling
yeah,
himself
yeah,
a
yeah.
joke, and then he falls
Yeah,
to the
and
ceiling,
it falls through the.
and
Yeah.
you never hear the end of the joke. It's like one of those.
One of those? Oh, maybe.
All right, I finally figured out Luke's technology. I'm on.
Oh, it's Vic.
Oh, hi, Vic.
Come on.
Hey, Vic, welcome.
Danke.
We're just chatting up the show.
James having trouble getting
Now
in.
that it's all wrapped up, we're doing spoilers.
So,
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. We forgot to say.
A bit
Bit
late
late.
for that, isn't it?
When do they fire the season 8 writers?
Oh man, I don't know. Would somebody do better other than George R. R. Martin?
They're not going to let them do season 9.
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, hopefully they're not involved in the prequel or any of the other things that come out.
Yeah.
No, apparently it's. Oh no, they're going to do the Star Wars.
Yes, I saw that.
They're
Oh,
doing
yeah, I
Star
heard that.
Wars? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, no.
Dan and
Luke,
Dave are doing
no.
fucking Star Wars now?
yep.
Yep.
And Ryan Johnson is going to do Game of Thrones.
All right, well, are they going to do the Dunk and Egg prequels?
The
Probably.
what?
Okay,
Dunk
so
and Egg.
the prequels, I mean, they could either go with Robert's Rebellion, which would be fucking rad, or they can do the Dunk and Egg short stories that George R. R. Martin wrote.
Oh, Dunk and Egg would be amazing.
Whoa.
what?
Dunk and Egg
What
would be
What?
the
fantastic.
hell?
I've heard that
on here.
HBO is already committed to Robert's War.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually my favorite character, Robert.
I missed him
Yeah.
the whole time. He was fucking
Oh,
great.
he was just fucking great. He just light up the screen whenever it was on.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I turn, like, when I see the movie A Knight's Tale, I watch it just to remind myself that guy was Robert Baratheon.
Yeah. But just watch a supercut of his scenes. He's great. He's just fucking great. He's good Game of Thrones.
So, you know what, dude? They never did anything with the Valonqar prophecy, though.
They never mentioned it in the show.
No,
You know,
that's
they
what made
took
joke for
that
Arya with the
out
Valonqar.
a long time
Obviously.
ago.
They didn't do anything.
Wasn't
Like,
it mentioned?
No, the Valonqar was never mentioned.
What about undead Tully woman? I forgot the name. Oh, Lady Stoneheart.
Oh,
That's
Lady Stoneheart. They didn't do anything with
Oh,
her. either.
Stoneheart. Yeah.
Never mentioned.
Well, they
They
gave
did
her
fire it.
plot points to Beric Dondarrion.
John, they blew off every prophecy in season 8.
Wait a minute, but they didn't mention the only prophecy that they mentioned was Azor Ahai, right? And even in passing, it was not the main storyline. I don't feel that they
Hey, I'm gonna hang up.
Look, most of the
Thanks for coming in.
hey, I keep hearing a robotic voice. Who's that?
I don't know.
I think it was
that was
James.
James.
Yeah.
James? Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah, like his things. So here's something that I was thinking to myself, all right? Like, I was in my head ordering, like, looking back on the entire fucking shit.
Oh, there we go.
What is, like, the most boring fucking non-factor of the Seven Kingdoms? And I think it's got to be the Stormlands.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Gendry has been rowing for over 3 seasons.
Yeah, Gendry rode for like 4 years.
I never understood how he wasn't as ripped as a mountain in the end. Like,
Oh, did you
but
see
not,
him swing that fucking axe?
what has he been doing? Like,
Yeah. So, and then followed by Dorn. I think like, why was Dorn even brought into we never even needed to go to Dorn. That whole side plot went nowhere.
Yeah,
Just
that
some-
was
That was sad.
seriously-
That was so he
it
could get his
really
head
was.
exploded. That's what that was for.
To the
Oh,
point
I-
where there was one Dornishman in the dragon pit to select the new king, and we didn't even know his name. Like, who cares?
He
And
said,
here's some other funny stuff about Gendry. Okay, Gendry was supposedly born in King's Landing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, he should be a Waters. That's the bastard name for King's Landing is Waters.
Yeah.
Well, if you go back when
yeah, she said
Dany-
Rivers.
when she says Rivers. He's not from the Riverlands.
The
So-
Riverlands was a
Well,
big
he should be
nothing
from-
burger too.
He should be from the Stormlands, Baratheon.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
but
where
he didn't know that he was a Baratheon and he was born in King's Landing. So he's right. He should be a Waters.
He should be a Waters. Now, the only thing that I could think of that even made sense with that would be is maybe Robert knocked up some girl in the Riverlands after the Battle of the Trident, and maybe he was born there. And then
No, actually, you're right. They did say it was a Riverlands horde.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
okay, could be.
Okay, well that makes sense then.
I was expecting
That
Waters,
doesn't take me off the action. If you're like a really serious fan of the books, maybe that could take you off for a little bit. But yeah, it's sloppy writing. It is, but it's not severe. It's not severe. I don't think. That's not what makes you want to Google bomb the writers of the show. You think it's one specific thing that takes you off, or is it the whole thing, the whole sloppiness of little things? I don't know. I think some of the things that they actually try to tie it up with six
I don't
episodes. It's not
glad I
easy.
updated my picture.
They managed to tie it up effectively.
Hey, can I interrupt this thread for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I joined late. Let's get to something important. What are people drinking tonight?
I'm
thank
drinking some Ron Zacapa 23 rum, if you really want to know.
Mm-hmm. Lemon lime high C.
Oh, sounds good.
Oh, John, you're overindulging there.
Oh, I know it.
It came down for me to either the rum or I've got some fantastic Four Roses small batch select bourbon that I'm trying to baby because I've only got one bottle of it.
You're doing the Four Roses? Nice.
No, I didn't do the Four Roses. Not tonight. I did that last night.
I went to Blanton's again.
Dude, you can't go wrong with Blanton's. So Vic has been Waylandized, just so everybody knows. When Wayland found out that Vic liked bourbon, it was like he was, it's like he had just met. It's like he was a school kid who just met Batman.
Actually, we've been talking bourbon a long time.
Oh, dude, the poor guy just moved into his new apartment, so I had to get my iPad and prop it up on my coffee table and angle it so he could watch the TV and watch the last 3 episodes. How was I going to tell? How can you tell Waylon no? You can't. It's not possible. But no, I think going back to what we were talking about, I think the whole Dorn thing was so it was butchered beyond. I mean, I think that's probably, to me, of all the things book related, show related, I think that's probably, to me, one of the probably 3 biggest injustices of the entire show was what.
Yeah, they fucked up Dorn bad.
They fucked it up so bad.
Was it too big to, I don't know, to include Dorn? Like,
I mean, if you're gonna do it right. It's like they did it and never did anything with it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, going back to the whole Tower of Joy thing, here you had you got two of the biggest, names in Dornish history with Dane and Hightower, and it's never even mentioned. And the last thing that you see out of Dorne is Euron killing the sand snakes like they were, you know,
Yeah.
but they were like the red shirts from Star Trek. I mean, that's what he made them look like.
Yeah, they went out hella easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it was all over for them in like one
Well, I mean,
scene.
kind of the same with the Stormlands, and to a little bit with what they did with the Tyrells as well. I mean, it was really kind of all about Lannister, Starks, Targaryens, a little bit of Greyjoy. That was it.
But maybe the Dorn thing, like they were badass when they faced off, when they didn't bend the knee to the Targaryens, right? So
Yeah.
that was their high point. What would it be the high point in the Game of Thrones, like all of that?
Well, if you look at
the
it,
Iron Throne, like it's not their thing. They're not gonna fight for the Iron Throne. They're gonna stand up.
let's see. Hold on though. Here's the thing with Dorne. In the books, and granted, we're still a few seasons behind, but there are what 14 or 15 sand snakes. I mean, Oberyn had his own little army of bastard, warrior kids. So
Was it that many?
Yeah, there was a lot. There was
I think it
more
was like
than
8 or
just
9 or something, but it was a lot.
there were there were
Okay.
significantly more than the 3 that they showed. So I just think that they had more opportunity there to once they introduced the 3. I mean, I understand that was kind of it. I understand that it was TV related, so they kind of had to shrink it down. But I think they really could have, because I think the revenge aspect there is where you would have kind of got in, especially like look what
But if
Laria.
Urine is gonna kill them all in fucking 3 minutes anyway,
Why have
what's
him
the
in?
point?
What's the point? Exactly. No,
have
that's it.
3,
Exactly.
have 30. It doesn't matter. They're all gonna
Well,
die in fucking whatever.
the whole Oberon on the mountain thing, that was just awful.
Yeah.
I think the Oberyn character is the coolest thing they did with Dorne. I will give them the Oberyn character. He was
Yes.
great.
That was great.
Yeah,
Oberyn
that
and
was
Arthur
a new one.
Dayne.
Great.
Arthur Dayne. Oberyn and Arthur Dayne.
That was
Arthur
one of
Dayne.
the scenes that made the show.
No, I think Oberyn was great, but I think the whole 5 minutes that we got to see Arthur Dayne was equally as important and cool as anything that is Oberyn. I'm a huge.
Are you
Oberyn
talking about the Tower of Joy fight?
Yeah, because Dane is like Starfall was one of the big Dornish, sinners.
Yeah. Well, and the woman who came from Dorne also was important.
Well,
Nymeria.
They gave Arthur Dayne that cool bit. They also gave him 3-page screenshots in the Book of Brothers in the last episode.
That's right.
And I paused them and read them.
Hey, let's not forget that the best wine came from Dorne, and they didn't do enough with that.
No, I agree.
we compare that
multiple times. So Dane was the Boba Fett of Game of Thrones. You got one cool scene, and
that's it exactly.
Oh
no, I agree. I think that's actually a good analogy. And I'll tell you something.
Then that's it. Look,
I mean, I think that's really. And where the fuck was Howland Reed?
Who the fuck is that?
Howard Reed. That's what they said. His kid's in there.
But Mira's still alive. He's still alive. I mean, see, that's the whole thing, and that's and I got a feeling when it comes book time, I think that he will have a more integral part in the book than the show, other than just like again.
Howard Reed, the guy who got stabbed multiple times in New York. We're talking about the guy who's.
Howland Reed was the guy that Arthur Dayne stabbed, but then he turned around and
killed.
He was the one who killed Arthur Dayne.
Jojen
and Mira's dad.
The Smiling Knight.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's the only other person that actually was there that lived at the Tower of Joy who knew who Jon was. and it was
Was he
never brought
right?
up. Yes.
Well, why would they brought him on to do what?
They forgot him.
Like,
Yeah, they forgot him.
Didn't have
Oh,
time for him.
there too. We forgot. Sorry.
Well, you know, did you hear that was their excuse for Euron being able to kill Rhaegal so easily was, oh well, Danny just forgot about the Iron Fleet. Man, how the fuck you forgetting about the Iron Fleet? I mean, seriously, it was either Nutter or it was Dan or Dave. One of the three actually said that.
you guys like Dorne so much. Didn't one of the Conqueror Targaryen, the first one, didn't one of his dragons die because in Dorne somebody hit him in the eye with an arrow, something like that? Isn't that story?
I thought Bloodraven killed one of them with a arrow to the eye.
No, according to Game of Thrones, according to the lore,
I think one got injured, but did they really kill a dragon there?
Yeah,
I think one got injured and they.
I think they did. I think he died.
Okay.
Now, see, I don't remember that. I remember the only dragons that I ever remember dying were like the ones in the Dance of Dragons, and there was a couple that died in Dunk and Egg, wasn't there? Just some of the little in the stories of Dunk and Egg. Didn't they talk about some of the dragons dying from battle? But they were with other dragons, though. It wasn't. I don't remember it ever actually being.
Well, in the Dance of Dragon, there was two. In the Dance of Dragon, there was one that got killed leaving Storm's End. Like with two of the cousins or whatever, they fought. And one of the dragons, the younger dragons, got killed there.
Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was killed by an arrow.
By an arrow?
An arrow to the eye.
Which, do you have it up, Luke? Who was it? Which dragon was it?
Which one?
Which dragon was it that died?
Used to be an adventure like with an arrow in the eye. Really?
I saw someone point out that they were consistent with the fact that every time the dragons were aware that they were being targeted, they never hit them. And when it was a surprise attack, they hit them. So, I don't know. They were consistent about that. So, if you're going to look at the book for everything, you're going to be disappointed 100% of the time. I think.
No, I agree with that.
So it was set up that the dragon was not well. It was Danny. Everybody pointed out that Danny reached the mistake. Was not well enough. Like, it was clearly the dragon was crippled, and she was still smiling like, "Oh, it's fine." So
no,
it was perfectly set up that was gonna happen.
I agree with all of that. It's just my whole thing is,
and it's the plot.
Danny forgot. I mean, that right there is the whole end. From Danny forgot. You just sat there.
No.
You were just. I mean, that was the whole.
That's bad PR. That's bad PR. You can't judge the show by what the showrunners say in a marketing interview. I don't get that. That shit's gonna be replayed. Sometimes.
Hold on. This is causing me to get a refill. Hold on.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, that's a point. Sure.
Do what? No, I'm sorry, Loki. I didn't give my bulldog ice. I'm sorry.
That's the real reason.
She didn't know that the Iron Fleet had the scorpions on it because last time she encountered it, it did not.
That's correct. But just to say randomly that you forgot about them.
Yeah, but she learned very quickly.
It's never said on the show. It's never said. Don't put that on canon. It's perfectly natural that they tried a surprise attack. Like supposedly, Euron and Cersei were going to be at the capital. They're not going to venture out. They're trying to mass their forces they're not gonna go out and try to attack the enemy. That was not expected. So it was a surprise. And
Well, I mean,
I find that
the
hard.
whole thing was another bullshit thing, anyhow. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole hitting a moving target was something that doesn't fly all that true. Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
ballistics of that
I mean,
thing,
they
like,
talked about the previous lucky shot to an eye, 1 in a million kind of thing.
True.
Once again, season 8 bullshit.
That's what I've.
Were you surprised though? Were you surprised when that moment happened?
No,
Were you
I
not
wasn't
it was
surprised
that
surprised
by
he
bad.
the
died.
sight of a dragon going out like that? The violence.
they didn't have to kill the second
Yeah.
dragon. It wouldn't have made any fucking difference.
I really, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, yeah, I
imagine the episode 5 with 2 dragons. Would it make sense?
Maybe that was character development for Drogon.
Now I'll tell you what. The whole Drogon in the throne room thing. I'll tell you what. That was actually. I think that was actually a really good scene.
I hated it.
Did you really? I thought it was good.
No,
I
I'm
loved it.
contradicting everything you said.
No, see, I actually liked it. I thought that was because dragons have always had a connection with their rider, and on a mystical, magical level.
Supposedly
And
they're very intelligent dragons.
yes, exactly. So I think that was, again, I'm kind of looking at it like I did the whole John thing going to the wall, but he knew he knew something was wrong, but he also, I think, kind of had an understanding of what Danny did. I'm not saying that dragons know right from wrong, but I think that, I think it seems like they were maybe smart enough to understand that this isn't the loot train where they, burn all the Lannisters and Tyrells, or burn all the Lannisters rather. It was, this seemed to be more. It seemed personal to him, and I think that was, the whole Targaryen connection thing actually showing. I liked it. I thought it was good.
What I liked most about the last episode was actually Tyrion's monologue or speech or dialogue with Jon Snow at the end. I think he painted a good picture of, especially for the majority of the fans who backed Danny for all these seasons, how it's easy to back somebody who's doing massive violence to people that we consider deserve it, and how with time it changes people's perception, and you end up backing up a tyrant and making excuses for their
Yeah,
behavior.
justifying it.
Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly.
it is like, okay, so you go down like, oh, they twisted all of Danny's character development at the end. She was a totally different person. Like, maybe not. Like, if you, I was discussing it after before the episode. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I did say like she crucified a lot of people. She was brutal many times.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she said in the second season she was going to burn King's Landing.
Yeah, and she said,
It was
yeah,
just-
that's right. So, but
the issue was how rapidly she went from lovable to
digressed.
crazy in
yeah,
like
she
one
was
episode.
people pointed at the right people at the time.
They did fucking nail it in that one half a second when she steps out in front of the Unsullies and the dragon's wings come
The
out
dragon
behind her
wings,
back.
dude, that was.
They're fucking
Yeah.
rad. That said it
Yeah.
all, you know?
But
And you know
maybe,
what?
yeah, they pulled it all on John and Danny at the final 2 seasons. I think that's why it was so sloppy. That they just wanted to get that thing right.
I like to think that King's Landing and all the 6 kingdoms plus the North are all in now good hands with Bran and fucking Tyrion. But I also think that the entire place is fucked. And the reason I say that
It is.
is because, like, literally Braun is probably the worst choice in the world for Master of Coin. Like, can you think of a worse
They've always been
choice?
fucked.
Yeah,
for
you saw how he
Master
just kind of walked
My-
away at the end. He was gonna
My
leave
favorite two
everybody
things in
else.
the last episode were Sansa not bending the knee to her brother and
I
the
still
end
to see
credits
it.
rolling.
I still have to see it, so I don't know. I can't join that.
What's going on?
I haven't seen the last episode yet, so
Oh,
all of you.
Oh,
You're kidding
Uh,
me. You're kidding me.
Yeah, that's what you've been constantly doing. I was like, okay,
Okay, well, you're
no,
not
not
missing
that I
much,
care.
so don't
You
worry.
knew we were discussing the last episode, right?
Yeah,
I
like I
posted
said,
it.
don't care. I mean, I
well,
will
Braun's the
probably forget
master of coin,
tomorrow.
and everyone's fucked. Look, that guy literally said in
Like I've been
episode
calling the
9,
end.
season 2, right before the Battle of the Blackwater, where he's talking about like he's asking Tyrion what the rules are for borrowing money.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the worst possible choice, and he's corrupt as fuck.
This is why
He's
I don't lend you money.
unabashedly corrupt.
Like, like,
Like he's
I've been
so corrupt
calling.
that he has no reason to lie about it. Like he's that corrupt. He's just like
As far as
totally
I've heard
honest.
of what you all been talking about, I've been calling most of it anyway. So I don't really care that I've been, that it's been confirmed.
Your money's definitely getting embezzled. Everybody's
Oh,
money's
every
getting
dime of it.
embezzled.
Every
Hey,
And
that's
penny of it.
they're gonna restructure brothels instead of shits. Like this is bad shit's already happening. Bad shit is already happening in the small towns.
But you got to think though.
Oh,
I
Braun,
love Braun.
I
I think Braun's
I
a great
thought that was
character.
funny.
I think this is a calamitous mistake.
but look at the way that Braun was looking at it though. He was trying to get the morale of the people back up. I mean, the city was destroyed.
I don't
city
think
was
anyone
leveled.
believes that. I don't think anyone believes that.
The only people Braun ever cared about were Braun.
Yeah, you know what? There was like no less than 3 or 4 different scenes where Braun is interrupted about to fuck a prostitute. This happened
Always cock block.
continuously.
You're constantly cock blocked in front of a live audience
this
and
guy's
in front of
he
millions
doesn't
of
know anything
people.
about
He
money.
deserves a fucking castle, all
He
right.
does. He's been
Okay, so-
serial cock blocked the entire time,
He has.
and now he's master
Poor
of
man.
coin.
But you know, hey, he said it best.
The one time he
There's
was
no cure
given
for
a
being a
big
cunt.
ass bag of gold, he owned it for like 3 minutes.
And then he dropped. Yeah.
Hey, not just cockblocked he was paying for.
I know. Yeah, it's the worst. Like this is bad things are gonna happen with him as master of coin. I'm just that's my prediction.
So let me ask y'all this: as far as all the deaths that happened this season, who were you most? I won't say let down by them dying or the way they died. Who did who do you go with? Because I'll tell you what, my pick is actually Kyber. I was not happy with. I mean, I was not happy with the way he died. I mean, I'm all for him dying.
Honestly,
Yeah, that was pointless.
like the most,
But
Fucking
sometimes,
Kyburn was dead when they found him at Harrenhal. Fuck that guy. Like
like
no,
honestly,
here-
you mean
here's
the
the
most
thing.
stupid death, or
Think
you
about
mean the
this.
most disappointing?
Just, I guess, both actually, because
Well, because the
here's
stupid one must be like just 2 of them in my case, and the most stupid ones would be the one I forgot her name again. God damn it, I'm bad with
what
names.
you do?
Rob Star.
Daenerys just got stabbed real quick.
No, it's from the Red Wedding. In the end, she screams like the worst
Caitlyn
actor
Stark.
ever, and
Catelyn
then
Stark.
she gets stabbed. It was so retarded.
Rob's wife or Catelyn Stark? Rob's wife or his mom?
Catelyn, that's it.
Catelyn. Yeah.
Catelyn
That was in the
Stark,
books,
yeah.
though.
What?
That
That
was
was-
Yeah, that was
retarded.
the books.
Sorry.
Also, that was
Why?
a good death.
They had to kill her.
No,
I
The
like,
second
know, but
dragon, for all the reasons
Well,
I
she
said
had-
earlier.
millions
She
of
had-
It was
people
the
throughout
most
America
fake
went to therapy
response
after that
for
episode.
a horror scene. I mean, she saw her son die in
And her
front of
grandkid.
everybody,
And her
Yeah.
grandkid.
and her response was so fake. Was so fake that even it was just
Oh, the fact that she killed the Frey girl.
Yes.
Well, she
Yeah, that
did
was.
swear on her honor as a Stark and as a Tully, so she would kill her.
The second would probably be the Brand's brother, younger brother.
No, Rickon.
Recon,
Rickon.
That's it. A character
Recon
nobody
or Recon.
for years, and
Rickon.
then he gets
Rickon.
sniped by Ramsey like randomly.
Well, that's what he gets for not zigzagging. Everyone knows you fucking
Yeah,
zigzag.
exactly.
If I ever have to run, I'm gonna zigzag. You better believe it.
Everybody
was
knows you zigzag. What
like,
the fuck?
Dude,
Yeah.
like that scene was to make
Okay.
Jon Snow go into an army, like make a mistake. That it
To
wasn't
be honest,
pointless.
it was one of the most hilarious deaths as well. Actually,
Yes,
It
it
was
was.
hilarious. And
Because you
that
knew it
was
was coming.
the
You
I,
knew he was gonna get killed.
and
All
that
right,
was one of the watch
one of the
the
deaths
last
that made
one.
me most sad. Ed.
Most sad.
Dolores Ed.
Oh, I agree.
Man.
Yes.
which one?
Yes,
Dolores
Ed.
Ed, bro. He was like the last original gangster, bro.
Yeah, he was.
What's that?
Who were you most
think-
surprised to see alive at the end?
I had more trouble with
John.
Stannis's daughter.
Shireen?
Green.
Yeah, that was a
That
bad
was-
death. That was
There was a
That
key
was
plot
terrible.
point though. That was.
I did like that. I did like that the mother
Tough.
was the one who was most upset about it. It was kind of a twist, but because it seemed like Stannis was showing that he loved her. Like they had those scenes, like "You'll always be my daughter," and the mother was always the bitch. But in the last moment, it was the mother who was.
Stannis
they
with the
said
goddamn
Dago
right
tried to
foot.
like what
I
he
was
did.
I was not expecting that. That
All Stannis
That
had
was
to do
a
was
tough
sit his ass
fight.
on
That was a tough
Dragonstone
fight.
and he would be king right now.
No, I agree.
Fucking Stannis. The
Yeah.
damn the one that I was most surprised to see live, to be honest,
John.
Sam. There's no way Sam
John.
would survive.
No, John.
yeah no.
John. It's
Sam
John.
went by the White Walkers and it did not. What the fuck is that?
Didn't hear
There
him
was a
go on.
27-minute timer.
That's
Whose
the bell.
pizza is ready? Whose pizza is ready right now?
That's the bell saying that I was right. John.
Okay.
I thought John should have died. I really expected John and Danny
He
both
did.
to die. No, in the last episode.
Oh.
No, I really expected both of them to die.
Yeah,
I
well,
expect more people to die than just them.
I feel like Sam. There's no way he should have made it through the Battle of the Dead at all.
Not at all. He should
I mean,
have
I
died.
love Sam.
Yeah,
let's
But you
be
know
real.
what?
This
If
is
it
Sam.
hadn't have been for Ed, he would have died.
I don't know, but that's why fucking
Ed-
Ed.
Oh, I know.
You know
I'd
what?
much
I feel
rather-
heartbroken over Ed, and I feel heartbroken over fucking Grin when Grin died fighting
Oh, I
the
know.
giant in the passage.
Oh yeah.
True.
But that was a
Hold
very
on.
noble death.
It was
Okay.
actually kind of funny too. Like
Yeah.
the last words he said, and then he gets stabbed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam.
Now, most
I-
badass death.
Why is
Yeah,
Sam
no,
always
fine.
falling down the fucking battles?
Also, Ghost. There's no reason Ghost should have lived either.
Yeah.
Oh, come
Here.
on. You have to
Yeah.
have Ghost. You can't kill Ghost. You can
they
kill
killed-
dragons, but you can't
they
kill
killed, like-
Ghost.
If Jorah lived, Ghost
bullshit.
had to live.
Ah,
If
whatever.
Jorah can live, Ghost had to live.
Jorah didn't live.
Jorah fucking died, man.
It dies later. It dies later.
He died later.
Jorah died in the last moment of the battle.
Oh,
Well, what are you
that
talking
charge!
about?
That charge was fucking retarded. That charge was. It was badass looking, but it probably looked like an order that maybe Ivan Giles would have ordered. Like, fuck it, let's go right into the night.
But
You
wait a
talking about
minute.
that
No, this is-
Dothraki charge?
no,
That
but here's
fucking light brigade ass Dothraki
I
charge?
can't see shit. I can't see the enemy. Let's fucking go for it. They probably missed them by like a mile or something. They don't know. There's just,
Yeah. Fucking, I know.
here's-
Alfred Lord Tennyson wrote a poem about it.
but here's the whole thing I have with that. I don't have a problem with the charge, and here's why. They were coming regardless. The Dothraki, yeah, they had horses. Yeah, quote, they were your
that's
traditional
not how you use cavalry. That's not how.
But wait a minute.
That's exactly how you use cavalry.
No, not
actually.
like
Thank
that.
you, John. Thank you, John.
No,
That's,
you do it, but you
No.
do it by flanking. You don't
It
give it.
Wait a minute.
Especially if you have spike behind you. No.
Wait a minute.
That
wait
is
a
the
minute.
exact same tactic that worked like 5 or 6 different times in the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You just.
They
Wait a
didn't
minute.
charge in the night, though.
You're
But-
talking
They
about the
charged
movie
in
where
the
the
night. They couldn't see a thing.
where the
But
wizard doesn't use any magic.
no. Listen, but they did not have the one thing that most the Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones had. They didn't have true traditional infantry. The Dothraki were their infantry. I mean, what are you going to do? The Unsullied, they are not infantry.
Fuck yeah, they are.
No, they're not, because they're more of your tradition. Like, you can go back to, they're like a Roman phalanx. They're not who I want to send out there and try to, they're not a first assault.
The Unsullied were spearmen. They were not infantry.
They are not infantry. The Dothraki are more
And the Dothraki were
infantry.
cavalry.
Right, they are. But I'm saying in this instance, they didn't have a Lannister army or a Stark army where they
The
could send
Lannisters
out
had infantry.
thousands. They did, but not at the battle.
They were the ones that
of
got
Death.
slaughtered.
Not at the Battle of Winterfell. I'm talking about the Battle of Winterfell. There were no
There were no infantry in the
actual
Battle of
infantry.
Winterfell, other than the
Correct.
walkers.
Right. So the Dothraki had to charge because they were the first assault. They were the infantry in that entire thing. Danny and John, I would consider more the cavalry than I would the Dothraki in that instance.
No, makes no sense. But they were
How does
clearly more
They had
vulnerable
fucking
when they
infantry.
were
They had
defending
two.
the position.
They had two goddamn dragons. If you want,
And all they did was fly around and look at shit.
You're right. I agree. And I'm
No,
not saying
Brienne
they
was.
didn't screw it up.
They weren't
Brienne
cav
was
at all.
commanding the
They weren't even
left
air
flank of
cav.
the infantry.
You're gonna send 30,000 of your strongest cavalry into the fucking night with no idea what.
But what are you going to do with them? What
But
are
their
you
swords
going to
were
do
on
with them?
fire, so it's cool.
But
Look,
what are you going to do with them?
What happened? What happened?
What are
in
you
the
going to
Battle
do with
of
them?
the Bastards? What happened in the Battle of the Bastards? What did they do? Did they go with the cavalry first, or was it
No, because
at
both
the
sides had
end
infantry.
the fucking mobility to flank them at the end? That's what they're there for.
Bro,
Cavalry
but
isn't that
you
great
can't-
unless you're doing that.
How are you going to flank 150 or 200,000 zombies?
Exactly.
Hey guys,
can.
let's not do a military breakdown of Game of Thrones. What happened in the movies? Nothing real at all.
No,
Agreed.
it's not. And I know they did it. No, it's TV. Nobody wears fucking helmets except the Unsullied that nobody knows. Nobody wears fucking helmets, which is insane. Like it's the only thing. Like if you have to wear one thing, it's helmets.
It's a helmet. No, I
And a
agree.
codpiece.
Stop that E from your head.
Now, I will harken back to the great Dornishman Arthur Dane wore a helmet.
Yeah.
Dorn representing.
Yeah.
Dorn represents helmets,
Yeah, that's what,
safety, and fire.
that's what you should wear.
Exactly.
Um,
But I think it was there were.
no, but that's TV. That's TV. Now the fucking charge, even to somebody that doesn't know, that just likes fight swords, love it. That seems like crazy to send them out into the night. They can't fucking see the enemy. They were wasted.
But again, what are you going to do with them?
You hang them back until you have it's a good calculated risk, and then you send them. If you're in a bind, like send the fucking cavalry right now, because we're hurting. Right now we're
Cavalry needs room to maneuver, dude. If you let them get in too close, you're like limiting the effectiveness of your cavalry.
You don't have them in front. You have them in the back or circling the.
You can't have them in the back.
You don't have them right in
How
front
far
of
they were.
the sides.
That's the problem. You couldn't even see how far they were. It was engulfed in darkness. You didn't see anything.
Had absolutely no backup. That was terrible. It didn't serve any purpose.
All right, let's get on something more terrible.
Okay.
What about Theon's
Why didn't
death?
the
What do you guys
Hound
think of
get
that?
Cersei when she
Theon's
tried to
death.
walk by them? He knew everything was trying to kill her. He spent how long with Arya, who wanted to kill her? Why didn't he just fucking gut her when she walked by?
Who's that?
Cersei.
Oh,
When?
Oh, the Hound. Why did
When
the Hound just let her
was
walk
going to
by?
fight the mountain, and
Because
Cersei
the
just kind of
Hound
walked
didn't-
by. She walked
Because
right
the
by him.
Hound didn't
It'd have
care.
been a
about
He
Cersei.
didn't
flick of
care.
the
He
wrist to
didn't
gut
care,
her.
man.
I think the Hound knew she
Yes,
was
he
already
did
dead.
care.
You know who I'm pissed at? It's Missandei because Cersei had her hand on her, like right at the edge of the fucking wall.
But you know what?
Just
That
just
not?
grab her.
Was that not an amazing? That was an amazing scene. The
What was that?
cinematography of it, the shot, that was actually a fantastic. That entire segment of was great.
Which one?
Of the Missandei dying, the Tyrion Qyburn, the Tyrion talking to Cersei. That scene was
Yeah, that was
amazing.
well done.
That was a great scene.
Can I
well
go
done.
ahead and just award the non-factor award to the Golden Company?
Yes, you may.
it's because of their elephant problem.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
still
they-
trying
they-
to the
they
elephant
don't-
earlier.
They don't travel well, do they? Elephant.
No.
Hopeless
Mike-
Harry
Mike-
finally just got his.
The
Like,
Romans have the same problem. They were saying like they were gonna bring elephants and giraffes, and it was very hard for them to survive the travel.
Budget cut.
Now hedgehogs would have been better.
Yeah, they fit in the box. You just punch a few holes in it. It's fine.
Fucking non-factor. All they did was form up and die. Like literally, that's all
Yeah.
they did.
Like my comment was, that's why
Oh, I loved
we
it.
suddenly
I loved
discovered
it
that
when
no one
they
paid their
were.
fee for 7.5 seasons.
But
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Game of Thrones, right? Like they play up a lot of things and then they just shit on it.
No,
was
that's
Game
the
of Thrones.
writing after George R. R. Martin's books got
No,
passed.
it was like that before. It was like that before.
I think you're both right. Honestly, yeah, it was that buildup, but at the same time, a lot of that was not having George in the loop with a lot of that stuff. And and I was talking to somebody about that whole battle thing before that episode happened, and I told them, it's like, I don't think you'll see another big, huge battle like you saw at Winterfell. You won't see the Unsullied and what's left of the Dothraki, and you won't see that battle. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And granted, I was the whole Danny coming in the back door thing. I didn't see happening.
Oh, I like that scene. I did.
I did actually. I liked that.
That. I thought that was great. The way she just went bursting through from behind, like I thought that was great.
I really. I
It was
actually kind of did
foreshadowed
like that.
also.
Yeah, the thing I got though was how does Danny's been riding a dragon for what, 3 seasons? So we'll give her what, 5 years, roughly. I mean, that thing I guess sounds pretty realistic. How did she all of a sudden become a dragon riding master and figure out that I need to attack, directly from the sun at a 1 o'clock and come down and strafe, exactly at this angle, and then bank hard left and stay along the water to where they're shooting? How the hell did she figure that out?
She's fucking Targaryen. That's what they do.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
she
yeah.
did it wrong and got her dragon
It's
killed.
inbred knowledge. Yep.
She's fucking batshit crazy.
She
Yeah,
lost
she
the
is.
dragon
Yeah, she is.
and then fucking adapted and improved.
But who's gonna be
No,
a
the real
fucking
question-
dragon
hold on,
riding
hold
master?
on.
It's gonna be her.
Hold on. The real question is, how did she figure all that out and not figure out, hey, if I just go burn Cersei in the Red Keep, this is all over.
It's all over. Thank you.
Just go
When?
straight there, bring that fucking thing down, game over.
Well, she did have to kill all the scorpions first.
Okay,
Yeah, I felt-
right. So she did that, and then she spent an hour going around wasting dragon breath on shit that didn't matter.
I
When all
know.
she had to do was go
Thank
burn
you.
that thing, and the whole thing's over.
I know.
Turning.
No, that
I
was
mean,
the thing. You had to show that she was a fucking bloodthirsty tyrant.
And we needed 20 minutes of Arya running and falling down.
No, come on, that
Yeah, we needed that.
Look,
pretty
if you didn't have Arya there, you wouldn't give a shit about the people in the ground. You wouldn't have
Well,
20
well,
minutes of
Arya was there, and I
shooting
still didn't give a
extras.
shit. Like they established the point like fast. Like I get it. It got a little redundant for me. I think that, but that's just me then.
No, I agree. I think you're right. And I'll tell you the other scene that just did not make any sense was the end scene in that episode. What the fuck does her galloping off on the horse have to do anything? She's still in the fucking city. So who cares if she gallops off on a horse?
Well, they have to end with a negative action. That's basic cinematography, but
That wasn't a
yeah.
negative action. That was a positive action. She escaped. Here I am on the horse.
No.
I'm
Negative
galloping out
action
of
means
King's
she's
Landing.
moving away. She's going
But
away.
okay, yeah, okay, I get that.
It's
But
the same
why?
cinematic thing as riding off into the sunset. That's negative action. That's what it means.
Okay,
but yeah,
but why? Why that though? I mean, that leads you to believe that she's gone. She's doing something
I
because she
thought that
doesn't
as
need a horse
well.
to ride and find John.
I wonder how she got onto that horse that had no saddle or stirrups.
If you can do it, you can jump onto a horse without any saddle or stirrups.
I mean, what do you got? Like a 4-foot vertical leap? I don't. I mean,
I think,
Did you see Arya jump on the
You can
Night
climb
King?
on the dead
yeah,
bodies.
she did fly through the air on the Night King. You're right. All right. I stand corrected.
next time she will catapult herself on a scorpion.
But, John, since you're a Marine, you wouldn't understand. She's fucking airborne. She jumps out of nowhere. I love you, brother. Sorry, but I couldn't.
That's
read
fine.
that one.
I'll take that one. But yeah, I didn't understand the horse either. That's cool. As for the Hound just letting Cersei walk by, I think that he knew Cersei was already dead. I think Cersei probably knew she was already dead too. And fuck it. Like he's like in the moment with his brother, which I thought was a pretty cool fight. But
the makeup on him was amazing. The way that when he pulled his armor off, that was like, that really
was creepy.
It was creepy. It was extremely creepy.
Well, it was meant to be. I mean, he was a rotting corpse that was still walking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, see, it didn't look very well.
No, he
Yeah,
was
he was
not
not
okay.
well.
Yeah, he was not
No, he
okay.
was not well.
Constipated, actually.
he was back just a little bit.
When he stabbed him in the eye and he didn't die, I thought it was gonna be the second.
Know.
I thought it was gonna be
no.
the second time the Hound was gonna say, "You're shit at dying." You know that.
No,
Like,
I thought
that
no.
would've been cool.
No, I thought no. Now come on, surely, that would have been enough to kill anyone, right?
it missed all the vital organs. It was just his brain.
Yeah.
Well, he had a sword. Was it after that he got a sword in the belly and he
And they
pulled
did
it
that
out?
No,
as
the
well?
sword
that
for
was
the
Oh,
first. That
before.
was
That
first.
was the fourth.
No, that was before, and that's what I said. I thought, no, come on now, surely he's got to die. And there he is standing there pulling his fucking blade out, like
It's dead.
He
was dead.
That part of all the storylines, I think that one actually tied up the neatest.
Yeah, I got really
Yeah.
excited when I saw that. I was like, "Game ball, it's happening!"
I was ready, and hearing the Hound go, "Hello, big brother."
I was rooting for the Mountain.
I was too, but I think
I'm lying. Now you sound like a dick.
no.
I was, dude. Bjorn is like
It was a trap.
It's a trap.
Everyone saw that battle coming 5 episodes ago.
Yeah.
No, I think that was probably the tidiest.
I think
the
people have
tidiest
seen that
ending.
battle coming for like 5 years.
Oh, they have, and that's what I'm saying. I think
Game
that
Ball.
was,
Truthfully,
Game
you
Bowl
could have
was
known from the first season that this battle would someday happen. You just didn't know when at that point.
Yeah, ever since the tourney of the hand. When they
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was when it started. Yeah. So
That's the
fine.
moment already. You could have seen that these two don't like each other. These two are going to kill each other at some point.
But no, I think
Yep.
that was with Sandor. killing himself in order to kill his brother. I think that was really. I mean, that was something that I think it had to happen.
It did. It did. He needed to die.
No, I agree. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had to. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't
well, that
think
was his.
that.
It was his only reason to be alive in the first place. Like that's the only thing
Right.
that kept him alive in the
Right.
first place. I don't
Yeah,
even think Sander
absolutely. And
would
he
even
he had
want
given
to
up
live.
himself for dead a couple times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
I'll tell you what too. Something going back to the prophecy with Cersei, the Valakar prophecy. You could actually say that it was fulfilled because Tyrion is the one who sent Jaime to get her and take her that direction. So in a way, Tyrion did kill her.
No.
The little, yeah. I'm
No,
not
the
saying-
Valonqar prophecy specifically said like she was gonna get choked out by her little brother.
I agree. I understand that, but I'm just saying that she would die by her little brother.
There's
So,
no
yeah,
prophecy
they
in the
took-
show. There's no
There's no
prophecy.
prophecy in the show. Yeah. So
I
no.
understand that. I understand that, but I'm just saying you can make that argument that was how they kind of. Again, you're talking.
I
fan-
guess, but the prophecy was super specific about being
That,
choked
that
out.
was that was weak as
100%.
shit. Quick trying to excuse it. That was weak as shit.
Look.
Okay.
Also, isn't J.R.R. Martin
Fine.
the guy who says prophecy? Like he likes to shit on prophecies.
He does. Yeah.
So
Yes,
yeah.
right.
So on that it makes sense. You probably are going to read the book and he's going to shit on prophecies as well. But it's no fun if they all come true exactly like you think they're going to come
Yeah,
true.
but some of them are and some of them aren't, and that's kind of the way.
Yeah, but they can't be the main one. They can't be the major spoiler. You can't say
the prince that was promised ended
you
up
can't
working.
start Game of Thrones with like, oh, Jon Snow. Oh, by the way, is actually a Targaryen. You're gonna find that out in 8 years. You're not gonna do that. Like
I think the whole thing with the prophecy is I think that they shit on them too much because
yeah,
the Azor
you can't
Ahai,
shit
the
on them
Prince
too
of the
much.
Promise, the Valonqar, they all were basically, they tease at them and then they don't do them.
No, they did the prince that was promised. It was John.
No, they didn't.
No, look,
they didn't. No.
The fact that people followed the prophecy led everyone to be exactly where they needed to be. So it's kind of the Lord of Light works in mysterious ways, but kind of is. If they didn't,
they did the Red Comet one with the dragons.
yeah, they did. And if Stannis wouldn't, if people wouldn't believe that Stannis was the Azor Ahai, he would not have saved Jon Snow. And
yeah, I guess
and
so.
Davos would not be alive probably.
Davos should not have lived either.
Yeah, exactly.
Davos should have died at Blackwater.
So and John needed to be alive probably for Arya to come back, to have a Winterfell to come back to. So it does play out. So
isn't it weird how like Davos saves Gendry and then Gendry ends up being his liege lord at the end?
Yeah.
Do you think Gendry is gonna go back to Storm's End and like, hey guys, it turns out I'm your lord and I'm a Baratheon. Like, how's that gonna show? Like,
it's gonna go
papers?
awesome.
Do you have any papers that prove that? Oh no, that Targaryen lady, she, yeah, she.
Well,
she,
you would have to.
No,
think,
pardon me or whatever.
You would have to think though. By that point,
he's got witnesses.
Bran would have.
He's got witnesses.
Did he take them with him? Like
the hand of the king was in the room when it happened, so Tyrion knows it's legit.
I don't know. He's probably gonna get beat down.
Bran would
have
already said at that point, "Hey, he's the Lord of the Stormlands. He is now the ruler there." I mean, that Bran's already done that.
Yeah, so I feel like Gendry's gonna be fine.
I imagine he's gonna get a beat down the first 10 minutes of that.
Gendry is gonna be rich. He's gonna be fucking like. Gendry's got it good now.
He does.
Do you know who doesn't have it good?
Pod.
No, whoever the fucking Pod.
Pod.
Pod is Kingsguard. pushing around the king in a wheelchair.
Exactly.
Exactly. He's fucked.
He's pushing the king up all the stairs in the Tower of the Hand.
Exactly. That thing's not wheelchair
dude-
accessible.
The dude
Like-
just went from
In his honor,
threesomes
I
to
changed my
wheelchair.
from him actually, and it didn't change yet.
So the big winners are all the stonemasons who need to build handicap ramps all over Westeros.
Probably.
They're the big winners. The big loser is probably whoever was like the blacksmith at Storm's End, who is going to get some serious management supervision at this point.
Stop.
You know what I mean? Like, whoever the castle blacksmith was at Storm's End,
Oh shit!
he's about to get micromanaged like a motherfucker.
The only loser is whoever is managing the brothels that Pod's going to walk into because the Forest refuses money.
Well,
I'll take over all
Bronn
the
has to
brothels.
rebuild them first.
Yeah,
So the
Bron's
real
gotta build them all
loser
first.
is Six Kingdom finances are a big loser, but Bronn's winning.
That's right. Team Braun. Team Braun.
Hey, by the way, is if Sam is no longer part of the Night's Watch, which they don't explain, apparently there still is a Night's Watch, or there isn't, or Sam just gets to take off the black and become Archmaester. They don't fucking explain that. But does he also get to be Lord Tarly now?
I don't. That was something that bothered me.
I was wondering about that.
I mean, he should technically be the Lord of Thornhill. He
Is
should.
he?
What happened to Heartsbane? What happened to Gilly? What happened to little Sam? What happened to assumingly little John? You know, what
Actually,
happened
that's
to,
all. Actually, that's all. Once he becomes Archmaester, they explained earlier that Maesters give up all title and right to inheritance.
But
They've already
And the
Well,
Night's
they've already
Watch too.
explained that.
The Night's Watch too.
He abandons
but
his
wait a minute,
family, his own
Can
son.
you really see Sam saying to Gilly, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be Archmaester now, so you know what, you're fucked. You're knocked up. You're fucked. You know, take the little baby
No,
and go somewhere with him."
They're not
Yeah.
just not gonna get married. That's it.
It's more subtle. Like,
Yeah, he can't take no wives.
yeah,
It
one.
doesn't say anything about like
No sex.
friends.
Now,
No, no,
special friends.
But going back to what John said, though, the Night's Watch does. The Night's Watch says you cannot marry, you cannot father children. That is in the Night's Watch vows.
It is.
So if you're going back to
But,
that,
but that's not his kid, and he doesn't have to be married to take care of her.
John is his
John.
kid, but little
Yeah.
Sam is not. He
Right.
knocked her up.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
yeah, he did. Yeah, baby.
He did.
So technically, if the dead didn't kill Sam, the fucking Warden of the North should take his head. He motherfucker
But
broke
there
his
is-
vows.
But there is no Warden of the North. There's the Queen of the North.
Yeah, well, someone should kill Sam.
Oh,
That would be a very unpopular
Oh,
move.
isn't Tyrion Lord of Castle Rock also?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he should be,
here's-
unless it passes to his uncle's house or his
He's dead.
uncle's branch.
no, it shouldn't.
Kevin? Or
Kevin's
Kevan?
dead
How did Kevin die again?
in the Sept of Baelor.
Oh, that's right.
But see, here's the thing, and this is something that I'm gonna put a not a shameless plug, but if you guys don't listen to the History of Westeros podcast, you should. It's pretty cool.
No,
But they were talking
podcasts
about
are lame, man. No.
but you got to think though. I'm in my car for like hours a day, so I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, okay.
But they actually made a good point with Tyrion and Casterly Rock. He fucked the Lannister family,
Yeah.
straight up the ass. So, do you really think that the bannermen for the what's left of the Lannisters are going to actually follow Tyrion Lannister, regardless of who's on the throne, regardless of what his position is? Do you really think they're going to follow him willingly? You know, without question, like Sansa
Yeah,
has
he's probably
the
better
North
off just like
Lords?
Are there actually,
Exactly.
in fact, any bannermen left?
yeah.
We
Probably.
don't know. We
No,
don't know.
probably
That's the
not,
thing.
man. They're all burned up.
All
That's
the
true.
men,
Maybe.
all the men of fighting age, I guess, but not all of them. There's still lots of houses in the Westerlands. Podrick himself is from House Payne, which is a fucking noble house in the Westerlands.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the guy? Where's the hangman?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Podrick's the nephew of Ilan Payne.
Yeah, Ilan Payne. Where is he?
Yeah, what happened to Ilan Payne?
Podrick for president.
Podrick.
The golden
The
cock.
tripod. The tripod.
Veto vote.
Ilan Payne just kind of like silently exited the show, didn't he?
Yeah, no lines either. That was a shame.
Yeah, no
I
lines.
didn't have any lines.
Just like a foul face, like every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then disappears.
Just say something, dude.
Well, do you know what they really did with Ilan Payne is they replaced him with Braun.
Yeah, they did. They
So-
really did.
They gave Braun Ilan Payne's storyline because in the books, Ilan Payne is the one that Jamie goes to learn how to fight with his left hand.
Oh.
But they gave that to Braun.
Oh, that's they did
You're
did that with a couple of characters like Benjamin Stark. They turned him into the
Cold Hands, yeah.
yeah. It wasn't supposed to be that one either. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's a nice way to not have to make another storyline. Just be.
I actually kind of
effective
always
with it.
suspected Cold Hands was Benjamin Stark.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, now you know he's not.
Okay.
You know, I'm still. I will say this. I'm glad though that they never went the whole Lady Stoneheart route in the show, because the book that's like one of the most tediously boring. I don't like it. I don't like that entire thing. I was glad they did the whole Barrick thing with that, and they kind of gave most of that to him. I'm totally good with that.
I like when Arya walks out on Barrick and the Hound because they're just old sour cunts and like her last night in the world.
Yeah.
She's like,
this shit.
She's
Yeah.
like, I'm out of here.
I'm not going to spend my last few hours alive with you two miserable
And
shit.
see,
Yeah.
but that goes back to what that goes
That was
back.
great. That was a great line.
That goes back to
I
what
gotta
we were
say,
saying earlier. That goes back to what we were saying earlier about Arya and Gendry. That right
It's
there.
all
I'm not gonna
Coxidian.
spend.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend my last night alive with you two. You know,
She's
I'm
gonna
gonna
get
go
some
get
dick.
me. I'm gonna go get me some Baratheon, baby. Yeah.
I know that was played for the fans, but I really like the Brienne being knighted scene.
Me too. I
That
love
was
it.
yeah.
that made
That
them
was a
memorable.
great scene.
That entire scene from beginning to end with Pod singing Jenny's song.
Yeah.
That was hands down, I think, probably one of the 10 best scenes of the entire series. That
was
great
very.
Oh, but
scene.
didn't you find that though with Pod's song a little bit like reminiscing of Lord of the Rings?
A little bit. You talking about Mary when he was singing for
Yeah.
When when Pippin was singing for the
yeah.
Steward of Gondor.
Yeah, I mean it was, but but you gotta think though, George.
That was the first thing. That
He
was the first
idolizes
thing I
Pippin.
thought of.
Well, I
Yeah,
thought
I
that
agree.
thing. I don't care if it was derivative or not. I think that was one of the best scenes of the season, just because it was so. To me, it was so meaningful to see fucking Brienne get knighted because like it's never been done before, but she's that worthy.
Yes.
And like I was like, fucking, that's the coolest shit you could have done for this character or for the audience that's gotten to know this character. And then that not only would she be a knight for like 2 weeks, but then she'd be Lord Commander of the Kingsguard.
Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Yeah. But you know what though? I think the big thing is going back to the whole her and Jamie. The fact that Jamie did it. That is
you know what? At one time, I thought it was just going to lop off her head.
What?
How could you think that?
Well, the way he was holding that sword, I thought, yeah, any second
Oh, it
now
was a left
he's
hand.
gonna
Yeah.
lop up. He's gonna lop up her head.
Careful with that. That's starting to. Yeah.
That's a little shot
Yeah,
there.
she was smiling because she survived, not because she was a knight. Like, oh
That's
God, I
Valerian
survived
steel.
that shit.
Don't nick her. Like, be careful. But that is so great. And then to bring it full
It dep-
circle to like
Yeah,
when
the Book of Brothers.
yes, because
Yes,
do you remember back in the day when Joffrey's making fun of him
Joffrey.
because he's got like nothing in his page and
Yeah.
he says there's still time?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it says,
Yeah.
"Oh,
And
there's
then
time for
fucking
a 4-year-old knight, old
yeah,
knight with
with
no
no
hand."
hand. And then
Okay,
at the
so
end,
hey,
full circle, when Brienne writes like a page and a half, and you're like, God
yeah.
damn,
Yeah,
Jamie did
Mm.
do a bunch of
But
shit.
can let me serious question here, and this is something I may have just I've drank a lot, so I've probably forgotten it.
Well, that's a
But
change.
I know, right? But the Book of the Brothers, was that not just for the Lord Commanders, or was
Yeah, it was
I
just
mean,
for the Lord Commander.
well, okay, well, I mean, well, Arthur Dane was not the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Gerald
No. It's
Hightower was.
all the members, all the knights of the Kingsguard have a page in the Book of Brothers,
Okay, so
but it
see,
is
I
the
was
Lord
okay.
Commander's duty
the
to write in the
Lord
book.
Commander writes it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Lord
Okay,
Commander
Yeah.
writes
okay,
it.
okay. See, that was my misunderstanding. I always thought that it was the Lord Commander that was their book of history. So okay, I got you now. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good.
So it's for all of them. In fact, Duncan the Tall's in it. I paused and read his page.
How I'm about
Oh,
to do that.
doesn't it say who somebody kills the Smiling Knight? I remember that from that scene with Joffrey.
Yeah, that was killed the Smiling Knight during the battle with the Kingswood Outlaws or whatever.
Okay, the Smiling Knight isn't that
Or killed the Smiling Knight in single combat, something like that. It was one of the guys. I think it was
yeah,
Arthur
isn't
Dane.
that the Reed, the Reed guy? Isn't that
Harlan
No.
Reid?
yeah?
Howland Reed. No, Howland
No,
Reed did not
no,
kill the Smiling Knight.
no.
No,
Howland
no,
Reed
the
was the
Howland
smile.
guy.
Reed
Who is
is
the
like
Smiling
4'2".
Knight? Who is the Smiling Knight?
The Smiling Knight was, I think that he was like one of the Kingswood Outlaws, right?
Yes, he was.
Wasn't
So
that the
Yeah.
guy who fought in the Mad King's tourney that defeated?
No, no, because the
Isn't that the
Mad
story
King.
that Howland
The
Reed
Smiling
tells
Tree?
about the Smiling Knight? Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm
the
confused. Yeah,
Laughing
Smiling Tree
Tree.
is not the
The
same guy.
Okay,
Laughing
Yeah, the
Tree.
Laughing
Yeah.
Tree.
you're
Laughing Tree.
confusing the Laughing
But I
Tree
thought
and
they
the
called him the
Smiling Knight.
Smiling Knight. Oh,
No,
okay,
the
okay, okay. I
Smiling
thought they were the
Knight. The
same one.
Smiling Knight was way before Aegon's tournament.
Oh,
That
okay.
was
So that was my mistake.
yeah. The Mad King's tournament. That was what Barrick and
That's
Thoros
when Jamie
and
was made a knight,
Jamie. Yeah, Jamie
or
Sir Barristan. That was those guys. Yeah, the Smiling Knight
Jamie
was way.
Jamie was knighted on the field at the battle with the Kingswood Outlaws.
oh
Yeah,
no, he was made the King's Guard. He was made the King's Guard. Yeah, he was made the King's Guard at that tourney.
I think that might be true.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's
Yeah.
right. I think he was. I think you're right. I think he was knighted at the Battle of the Kingswood Outlaws. I think he was made a King's Guard at that tournament. I think that's how
Yeah.
it went.
Yeah, so Barristan Selmy lost the tournament. That
Yes.
He did.
it was Barristan. If Barristan Selmy would have won that tournament, there would have been no Robert's Rebellion, and none of this shit would have happened.
No
It would
books
still
and no
have
show.
kidnapper. It would still have kidnapper.
I agree.
Kidnapped. I'm
I
saying
agree.
quotes. Kidnapped.
Rhaegar, I think
Like,
the whole
wow, I didn't
Rhaegal
even.
and Lyanna thing. I
Yeah.
think that was going to happen regardless. I don't think that there was ever anything that was going to stop that from happening.
Nah, man, you give a bitch a flower and it's all done. It's over. It's done, kid.
Shit. Rhaegal
He gave her his flower.
Rhaegal gave Lyanna that dragon dig, and it was like all like Donkey Kong. It was breathing fire, baby.
So if
But
you
I
go
don't- I
back
don't
and you
think
pause that scene with the Book of Brothers, there's like some cool shit written on some of those pages.
The most
go back.
important
That's-
one was he died protecting his queen. That because he was known for being the Kingslayer,
But
and
he was,
Euron
though. Yeah, that
was actually taunting him for it, like one more king. Like
You
the
know what, though?
final
That
line
was
was he died protecting.
Hey,
his
you know
queen.
what? How fucking retarded is it that Euron swam all the way back just to fight Jamie? Like, get
to the exact place, to the exact
Get-
place
Oh, that
yeah,
was a
Jamie just
get
coincidence.
happened to be
fucking
This
walking
was a
real.
into.
coincidence. It was a coincidence. Yeah. Like,
fucking
oh, you're here too.
That
Hey,
was his
no,
lucky day.
nobody
John, do you
swims
mean
a
as
mile and a
opposed to all
half,
the other scenes in that season that were so brilliantly scripted?
right?
Yeah.
Nobody swims a mile and a half and then picks a life or death fight. Okay, nobody. Michael
You know what?
Phelps won't even do that shit. Like,
Euron's
Well, he's not a
Euron's
great guy.
crazy. Euron's crazy. Like, oh, I gotta kill this guy.
John Wick would do that, only he would have won the
for
fight.
no reason. Like, he has no reason to do that.
Don't, dude,
He
don't
doesn't need a reason.
Hey, don't go there with John Wick. John Wick killed somebody with a pencil.
I'm telling you, John Wick would have won that fight.
Hell yeah, he would have. With a pencil.
You know what? John Wick would have definitely won that fight, but I gotta give it. You know what? Even though that, as ridiculous as that fucking little coincidence was, I think the actor who played Euron was amazing.
Oh, he was. I liked it. That was a good pick. But I'll tell you what, the whole thing with that scene though that got me the most, more than that, was the fact that Euron just lacerated both of his, every internal organ that he had except for his heart.
Yep.
And the dude was able to, I'm just going to get up and I'm just going to trot right up these stairs and I'm just going to trot right up into the Red Keep and I'm just going to keep on walking. Dude, you shouldn't even have made it to the first step.
Someone's gonna make a whole lot of money making that place handicap accessible, man.
Hell yeah! Hell yes they are. Hell yes they are. That's what I'm screaming. But you know what? But going back to Jamie, Jamie's one of my, if not my favorite character of the book, the show, everything. And I think one of the things that I understand why they kind of did it that way, keeping it kind of low key. I really wish, though, that in that segment of the Book of Brothers, and granted, Brienne didn't know why Jamie killed the Mad King.
Yes, she did.
No, she didn't. She didn't know. She didn't know that he had wildfire underneath the Red Keep.
He told her.
When was that?
In the fucking bathtub. The entire audience found out when he told her.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you're right.
We all found out when she found out.
Did she write that, though?
What? No, she didn't write that in there. She didn't correct the record.
See, that's what I'm saying. I think people should know that Jamie, yes, he was honorable. Yes, he died protecting his queen, but he really think how much psychological stuff that he took by just swallowing the fact that I saved the kingdom. I saved this King's Landing. I did all of this not for myself, not for Cersei, not for my house, but because it was the right thing to do. I had to do it. And only Brienne knew that, and nobody else will know that.
Yeah, but I think that's the brilliance of the character of Jamie. That's what gave him his moral relativism.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. I think that
knowing that he did the right thing, but having to swallow it for hella years, gave him the kind of moral relativism that allowed him to say "fuck it" when it came to oaths and shit like that.
I get what you're saying. I understand, and I'm not arguing. I agree with that. I'm just saying, for me personally, I wish that would have had, just from the character's sake, I wish the people had known that. I wish that the citizens, the Six Kingdoms in the North had known that Jamie, yeah, he was a douche. Yeah, he was banging the hell out of his sister. Yeah, he was doing all this like really bad shit. But if it hadn't have been for him, there wouldn't be a Six Kingdoms or Seven Kingdoms or there. That's like I said, that's a personal thing. I just wish.
Which is exactly the path that Jon Snow went down when he took the decision to kill Dany.
Yeah,
agreed. Exactly. and that exactly it. And that's what I'm saying. That's why I think the whole Night's Watch thing was staged. That's why I think that it was all just to get him out because he
I
didn't
wish
want the
they would have
throne.
just taken 1 or 2 minutes to let me know for sure what the fuck the deal was with the Night's Watch. Like, I just
But I
want to
think
know
that,
for
but
sure,
that
is
goes
there
back.
one or not?
No, it
But I
doesn't
think that
matter
goes
because he's not coming
right,
back. He went north
right,
and he's not coming back.
right. Luke's right.
It's
I
a
think
day
that's the whole
watch
thing.
now. They're all in white.
It's a day watch. It's a day watch. You know, but that's right. I think that's what. I think that's what it. And see, that was the whole thing. That was one of the issues I had with John killing Danny because now you're lifting John up to Jamie's you're because Jamie and John are parallel characters to an extent because they're both king slash queen slayers. They're both kinslayers. But Jamie kind of gets the raw end of the deal while John is like riding off into the sunset. You know, so
Yeah, but
that's
what was the point of making that big secret with John being the
I
rightful
agree.
heir?
I agree.
That was a
But I
bit weird. Nobody knows. Only 8 people know,
And then
and
you know,
that's
it
it.
became a nothing burger.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
hey,
was
but
James.
so
no, no,
weird.
no, no,
No,
no,
I
no,
was
no,
a
no,
bit.
no.
No, it becomes the
I will
whole
say
purpose
no.
for what happened at the
Agree.
end.
Hey,
Agree.
James.
Because of what Tyrion said, it will not stop. You are the true heir. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter
Danny
what you want.
knows who you are.
People will rally behind you,
Mm.
like to use you. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Hey,
So I
James.
think
In case you're not up on current events, riding off up into the deep north is not riding off into the sunset. There's no sunset, dude.
I don't know, man. There's
okay.
summers and their
I'm gonna
winters last years.
I'm gonna drink.
That whole geography shit is fucked up.
Okay. I'm
It's
drinking
like
to that one. Thank
Aragon.
you.
He's going to be a ranger for a few years in the north, and then he'll come back and he'll be king.
But see, that's just it, though. That's the
He
whole
ain't
reason
coming back.
John. That's the whole reason John did. That's why that happened. Was so there is no Aragon moment. He killed the queen. Nobody else knows that he. Nobody else really knows that that's his aunt. That he killed the queen. Now you want to
That
get into
just
the whole
happened to
fact,
burn a city, though.
right? But that's the
On his
thing.
first visit to King's Landing, like,
Yeah.
better make an impact.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But
King's
that's the
Landing, yeah, I've been
but
there once. Kill the queen. Fuck
yeah.
it.
Right. Exactly.
Oops.
Yeah. Fuck it. But that's the whole thing. I
Got
think
another one?
that's where it could have ended.
What?
He
Can't
killed
come
the
here now?
queen.
Oh, let's continue to do something.
You know, nobody's going to
It's
accept the fact that he's a
Somebody's
Queenslayer.
phone. We haven't opened it.
And what
And
was
if
the
they
point of Arya going to King's
Feel like
Landing just to turn around and leave?
I just had to sit on my feet.
Yeah, that was
no,
weird, too.
because the whole thing with
Is that
her
on?
and Clegane,
I'm
when
gonna
Sandor turned around and grabbed her and
Thanks.
said,
I can one up.
"Do you want to be like me?"
No, I get that.
Okay, no problem.
That was why she was there. That was the whole thing. She went to kill Cersei. That was her
That
reason for being there. She was going to do it. If she had went with Clegane,
I'm
she would have.
offering, I understand it, but once again, it's like Dan and Dave built up some shit that just didn't happen.
No, I agree there.
It's like another example of that.
If Arya had killed Cersei, Jamie would not have his
The
death.
redemption, right?
Yeah,
Jamie would
no,
not
I
have
get it.
his. Yeah.
And the people say, "Oh, I wanted Cersei to suffer more at the end." Like she suffered a fucking ton.
I'm
through
gonna
the
go
whole.
ahead and say this too. Like the entire fucking army of the dead. The looming danger for 8 years.
Oh, I hate those.
All right?
Yes.
For 8 years, that's been the looming danger for the entire continent.
Yes.
Dog, they didn't make it past exit 2 on the freeway.
Bingo.
They got to Winterfell, and that's it, dog.
I kind of look. The first thing that you see on Game of Thrones, I never read the books. I only saw the show. So the first scene is the Rangers go north and
Yeah.
they see. Okay, so that's my first impression of Game of Thrones. I said like I fucking hate the show. I don't like it. and because I don't want to see snow zombies, I would watch the Walking Dead for that. I want to see the. I don't want to see magic and impossible enemies or like a fucking army that will never retreat. That was one thing. Like Brienne was preparing for. Maybe we can get
Right.
them to retreat there. Like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Don't you know what the fuck you're facing? Look, so it makes no sense. So you defeat the army, you raises the dead, game on again. That doesn't make any sense to me. So if they get to kill him with the only fucking flaw that they have, the weakness, I'm fine with that. Yeah, it was that simple to kill them. Like, just have to kill one guy. What's the
God damn.
I don't have, I don't have a problem with Arya killing him and Arya killing him easily. I have a problem with Arya jumping 40 feet through the
That's the part
air.
I liked.
I mean, I'm not. Wait a minute. I'm not. No,
She
let me
could
back
change
up.
her
Let me back up.
fucking
Let me back up.
face.
Let me back up. I liked it. I thought that was like amazing. But just the fact that she jumped that far and snuck around all of them, and
They had catapults. They had catapults. They
right,
don't
yeah.
feel that.
That's the. I
Actually,
think that's
actually,
the
if you
whole
pause
thing.
the scene and look at it, you can see the trampoline back there.
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
Do
But
you know?
But the whole thing when I saw in no shit when I saw her jumping at him with the dagger in her left hand because she is right-handed. She's always been right-handed.
No, she's been left-handed the
No,
whole
she's
time.
not. No, she's not.
Are
Oh
you
my
fucking
god, this is
nuts?
the nerdiest discussion.
Arya is left-handed. Even when she was
right.
fighting or learning to fight with Serial Pharrell, she fought with
Yes.
her left hand. Arya's always been
Uh-huh.
left-handed, bro.
Okay, I'm gonna drink to that one. Hold on.
All right, you're gonna have to look that one back up and get back to me because I'm right.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Let me drink again. Hold on.
All right.
That's why they made a big deal about she live fainted with the right and then hit with the left because that was her main.
Yeah. Also,
I
do you know what? I had a
remember.
problem
Yeah.
with one of the things that happened in the Godswood. I think I'm kind of split on how I feel about the way that Theon went out. I feel kind of
Yeah.
good about it. Feel kind of bad about it. I don't know, but I feel definitely really bad that not that he died charging with a spear, but that he ran like a weirdo. Like he had a weird run. Like, he had
Yeah.
like a bitch gait. Like something about the way Theon runs at full speed is not fully masculine. You know what I mean?
Well, he's not fully masculine either.
He wasn't fully masculine.
He's
I
not
guess
fully
that's
masculine.
true. I guess
He's
you're
not
right.
fully masculine.
It's all cocks in the end. See, like they were
My,
right.
my
It is all
only,
cocks.
my
in the
only
end.
issue was that Theon was still alive in season 8.
But just think how he died in John Wick. I mean, he went out like a bitch. He went out like a bitch. He went out running like a bitch. You know, it
I
all makes
went out
sense.
charging and screaming. Come on, like I don't get that. The thing that made me angry was that okay, so he charged it and then like that was it. He had no plan B, so he knew that that shit was not gonna work. Didn't have a fucking dagger, something. He just laid out in the ground, like make no
Well,
fucking
what
sense.
was? But what? No, it does.
What was the
What he gonna
alternative?
do?
Look,
He was either going to get swarmed, or he was going to charge and make a stand and die somewhat heroically.
okay, look at Liana Mormont. Like
That's the way
she
to
knew what
go, man.
Yeah, that's the way to go. So she knows
I
she
agree.
was gonna get fucked up, but at the end, like I still have something. I'm gonna fucking try to stab you at the end. Like people don't go out like
That's
for one
actually
second like that.
you bring up a good point, like that we didn't touch on. House Mormont is dead now
Gone.
too.
Yes, it's
He's
gone.
dead, gone.
That's
But
a
you know,
shame.
here's something else though. Think about this: House Mormont is gone. House Umber is gone now because remember, little
Yep.
Sam Umber is gone.
Yeah.
But you know who is not gone? And I
Who?
thought they were Karstarks. Alice Karstark
She lived?
was. Yeah, she was at the council at the end.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
She was one of the archers with Theon.
Damn. All right.
So think about it. So here she tucks her tail between her legs and runs off. Then all of a sudden, here I am.
Yeah,
at the end.
so it pays off.
Yeah,
It pays
Manderley.
off to be a coward.
Fat ass Lord Manderley's still alive too.
Yeah. So I mean, so the Manderleys are alive, the Karstarks are alive, the Umbers are gone, the Mormonts are gone, the Tyrells are gone.
The
Um,
Glovers keep swearing oaths and not fighting.
Because the Glovers are pussies.
They still alive though.
Yeah, true.
It's cold in the north. It's cold outside. Ain't going.
Yeah, well, it ain't cold here. It's finally cold. It's finally cooling off here, and it's 90.
So there's like a lot of open houses right now. You get to make some promotions, so that's kind of fun.
Remember, they killed off an awful lot of the population of Westeros, though, too.
But I think like they're in a position now to pay back some fucking favors. You know who I think should be in charge of Bear Island?
Who?
Well, fucking Hot Pie, because why not?
Hot Pie.
It just baked pie. It doesn't do anything else, man.
Yeah, just whatever. But you get to pay back favors now. You know, like fuck it. Like you open up the books.
Isn't this like the worst time to be ruling anything? Like Sansa is Queen of the North. Like fucking
no, the
winter
worst time is
has
the
arrived.
fact that fucking Braun's the master of coin. You think Robert Baratheon fucked up the finances? All right.
Look,
you think that guy fucked up the finances?
Isn't there gonna be mass starvation now that winter has arrived?
Yes.
Like,
no.
So
Braun
why
said
the
that
fuck would
winter's
you
gone,
want to be
though.
king right now?
Well, that's
Winter's
the thing,
gone.
though. That's why they elected him. That's what Tyrion was saying. Like he remembers all the fucking famines, all the fucking. He knows how to. He remembers them all. He'll get a. He'll get us through them better than anyone else.
Wait a minute. Is
like
is
Bran
that
would be the only guy who's
Not
not
me.
guessing.
Something is snoring, though.
Is that my bulldog? Is my bulldog on my? Wait a minute. What the fuck? Is
No,
that?
I think that's that's Yoshi.
Is that Jen? Is Jen snoring?
Is it Yoshi?
Is it? I think it's Yoshi. Yeah. It's a classic. It's a classic. He always falls asleep during the podcast because you know what? It's 3 in the morning there. It's 3 in the morning.
I don't care. Bitch, drink coffee. Oh,
It's cool.
My God.
So, do you maybe we can give fucking let me see. There's got to be some
Yoshi Starbucks gift cards.
Oh, the last Hearth. We can give that to Ed Sheeran, I guess. Fuck it, why not?
No, he got burned. His face got burned.
Yeah.
Did he get burned?
Yeah, that's what the hookers were saying. That when they were with Braun, they were talking about the nice ginger kid.
I did not put that together.
Yeah.
I didn't connect those dots. Ed Sheeran got burned. He lost his ear.
Hey, you know who else got burned, right?
How did he sleep? He can't close his eyes. No eyelids. Yeah, no eyelids.
Did you know that he was in the last episode?
Right. What?
What?
Aaron Rodgers was in the last episode.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's gone.
God damn it.
Ed
Aaron
Sheeran's
fucking
dead.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
That's a lucky
dead.
bastard. He gets to be in Game of Thrones and goes home to Olivia Munn.
Dude, oh my God.
Fuck.
I know, right?
Some guys have all the luck.
That's what I'm screaming. I can't say much though. Yeah. Anyway, so
if you're gonna cast fucking Aaron Rodgers and Ed Sheeran, you know who you want? You know who I want to see? I would like. Why don't you pick a fucking castle where the Lord can be Christopher Walken, just for fucking hilarity? Just put him in a scene so he can say like 3 things and just give him a few lines. Just let him be Christopher Walken. Like, fucking, that's awesome.
It's really cold.
It's really cold. Yeah, that was good. That was a good Christopher Walken. That's it. That's all I need to hear. Christopher Walken in a suit of armor commenting on the weather. Like, that's perfect. Oh, well. It's all over now.
Except
6 episodes, though. They couldn't have fucking stretched it into 8 just a little bit.
Look, I like Rome, and that shit was supposed to be 10 seasons.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was 2. So they had condensed all the fucking history from 10 seasons to 2. So HBO has already fucked me more than once. So
I
So
mean,
you're
were you
used to
watching
it.
HBO when that show was new?
Hey,
What, Layla?
the after show is going to start in 2 minutes.
The what?
The documentary about making of the show is starting in 2 minutes.
Oh
Oh
shit!
shit, you gotta watch that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be signing off here. Luke, we owe
Yeah,
you all. This was
yeah,
great. We have to do it again.
yeah, not like you can't watch it on demand.
Well, next time
Why,
that's
I'm gonna watch
an
it
eight
now.
an eight season show ends, will
why
be
don't you
another
just
one.
like TiVo the shit? I'm gonna TiVo it right now.
I don't have a TiVo, and I got a phone
I
call
don't have a
coming.
TiVo either. I just click
Hello?
record.
Hey, hey, Luke. Hey, Luke. You know what the coolest thing about Rome though is?
Yeah.
They didn't give DB the license to make a game.
Oh come on. There
Ah,
are plenty
damn.
of Rome games out there.
Poor
We didn't
DB.
even talk about the game that much. What the fuck is that?
I mean, what is
What
that?
game?
What is
What's
that?
that
Is
you're
that
talking
Yoshi
about?
masturbating in his sleep?
What kind of muffin is that, Layla?
I
Are you
finished the muffin
chiseling a
eight
muffin?
hours ago. No, I've had the muffin, and then I had my friend bringing a croissant as
A
well. So
croissant. Mm.
yes, well, it's 10 or 11 in the morning here, so
It's
don't
2
tell
a.m.
anyone I'm
here.
not working.
It's 2 a.m. here. I can't go away because I'll have to shut this thing off if I go.
No, you can't do that.
I'm the host.
Yes, the host with the most.
Yes, the most everything.
Yes.
What do you think you guys would still be playing the game if it was still going?
I would not be. I just can't.
I probably would be.
No time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I still had things that I wanted to evolve when it
I have no
finished.
Oh,
time,
I
but I
would
won't be
like
able
to
to
play
play
it,
it.
but I couldn't.
I would
Um,
like to play it too, but I mean, I probably would be, to be honest with you. I can't tell you how much. The truth is, like when we merged with Blood of the First Men and Alf and Shaga all came together, like I was supposed to retire. Like I was
yeah.
telling people, all right, cool, I'm gonna start. That's my plan. We get all this together. I'm gonna gradually phase myself out.
You tried to hand me the
I
keys to Alf
remember.
so many times.
I
Yeah,
remember.
and then
I remember you telling me that, John.
yeah, and that didn't happen. I went hard as fuck every time we played, and then it just stopped.
And that's what we would still be doing if the game was on. We would still be going hard.
Do you know what? If the game was still on, we'd be whooping Kong's ass like all the time. It's almost I don't know. I don't know if it's a shame the way
Oh,
it
that
ended
ass
like
whooping
that.
was epic. We would never
But
get
the
them.
last real phase
Yeah.
when fucking
Uh, that was
when
that
SOE
was
and
the
Shenanigans teamed up and just like mopped the floor with Kong
Yeah.
in the last phase, that was maybe one of my favorite phases ever.
It was. It was not just a mastery of like, okay, we were superior, and we also like stuck the blade there and twisted it by
Yeah.
helping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the,
Yeah.
it was perfect. You can't top that shit.
I mean,
Hey, yeah,
for all the
but you guys, but Kong was on a break,
what's that?
but they were on a break.
We
They
break.
were they were on a break. Okay, yeah. They were on a game. The fucking game was broken. Like, when was your break gonna be over? Please. They weren't on a break. Kong's was
Sure,
Kong's was not functioning for a long time, and they just masked it by
they
getting
couldn't
free
decide.
wins. They would run to free wins, and people ran from them, and they didn't get like challenged, and so they kept the charade going way longer than it actually existed.
You know, the first official draft was they were on the break. Then we cheated. Then something else. I wasn't listening, but there was always something. Um, you know, if only I were on the inside and could find out what happened. Like
Hmm.
we'll never know. We'll never know.
We'll never know.
If only somebody on the inside could tell us what
I mean, I
happened
think
there.
it's pretty obvious what happened. I mean, attrition. They got fewer and fewer people playing more and more accounts to the point where fucking everyone's just burned out. Well, the people actually playing are just burned out, and they don't have enough players. And fucking, if you push them, they'll fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, go on. Believe that.
And I think that's why they ran to fucking easy regions. And when they were up against competition, they actually didn't have the manpower to keep all their accounts running 24 hours at peak efficiency.
Di-
So if you,
Didn't we get? Wasn't it like a Gao who beat KL when
uh-huh.
we tried to help them also?
No,
Yeah.
you and I murked over there and helped them beat KL.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then 3 or 4 months passed without KL being challenged, and then fucking SOE and Shen beat them. They were the only other ones to challenge them like 3 months later, and they fucking beat KL again. And I
Yeah.
think
But that
KL was beatable that whole time. Like the whole
that was a
last
blow in
6
the
months of
water.
the game.
Yeah.
The whole last 6 months of the game, I think they were fucking paper tigers.
Yeah, I remember
That,
that
that,
time.
that's what
I
we
remember
might have
that
had a little more
time
help
you
with
lot
folks.
went to Merc over a gal.
We did it more than once, probably. We did it at
You,
one of those weird.
John, you dropped me right in it on that phase.
What phase?
When you and Luke went over to Merc for gal.
Yeah, well, what did you do?
Oh,
I don't remember, Angie.
Oh, poor Angie. That's
oh,
the phase that you put Angie in charge of Alf, and then
Oh
there was at one
yeah,
stage
that one.
you
Yeah,
sent some.
And she called
I think you
sync,
sent a
and
sync.
she called sync the whole time. I saw it. It was great.
Well, you sent a sync on her too, didn't you?
I don't
Or there
remember
was
doing
something.
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
something
yeah,
that John would have done. Yeah, we probably did. We probably hit off.
I don't remember
We were
that.
yeah,
known for
yeah,
doing
yeah.
despicable things like that.
No. Gal would have never fucking been a party to that. I know that didn't happen.
Oh
Yeah,
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 it
yeah. If
did.
you were a guy, it would.
Yeah, it did.
No, Gal would
yeah,
not have done that.
yeah, it did.
No, no.
Was I
If you're
calling
It,
sync for
it
Gal?
you're
happened.
talking about TOS, TOS hit off, but Gao did not hit off. No,
Yeah, Gal
Yeah,
didn't
they
hit
did.
Alf. They
no.
would
Yeah,
never.
they
Gao
did.
did. Allison wouldn't.
They would never. That did. I
Wouldn't have
don't think
allowed
that
it.
happened. Fucking.
It was never in orders. If somebody or if a random guy hits Alf, that's one thing. Because probably Gao didn't know that they were friends with Alf, or they weren't even friends. We weren't even green.
We were
They
never even
probably
green. Yeah.
yeah. They, I, when we murked that Gao, there were times in the chat when they were shit talking about Alf, like they didn't know we were there. So it's probably somebody was just going for VP. It was never in orders. Allison would not allow that shit.
Yeah, Allison and fucking what's that girl that played with her all the time with the fucking pink hair in her picture?
There's Sarah and there's the Greek one. Oh, what's her name?
Yeah, well, she wouldn't have fucking allowed that either.
No, no, none of them would allow.
Yeah. Anyway, they
They
didn't
would
have
allow
to.
other
No,
things. They would allow other things, but not that race. No.
no, it was VP farming.
That's what I'm telling you.
All
Gal
VPs
didn't do
farming.
that.
All VPs farming.
Well, yeah, essentially. Uh, which I guess kind of ruined the game.
No,
For
you did.
for
Well, then
some,
again, nothing ruined the game more than DB. Like,
No, you
I
did.
did think about it.
No, that particular phase, Gal did hit Alf a few times for B
It's
for
always for VP, but no, but
BP.
it was never in orders.
Well, I saw some. Well, I did see a few sinks going in.
No.
I mean, maybe. I'm not. Maybe, but
no,
I
if
don't remember
they
them.
could be going after Storm of
No,
Swords or
no, because I remember because you said, "I'll make sure that the middle camp is empty."
no, but that was not that phase.
I don't think that
We
was that phase.
It was that phase.
did we sneak one up on Allison?
Well, maybe. I mean, I don't know.
No, that's not possible because you'd have to tell it in orders. Shit, did that happen? I'm usually good with that.
I don't know how
I'm
that
going
could
to the
have
pit
happened
right
without
now, and I'm
starting.
going to ask everyone.
I don't
Um,
remember. I don't know how that could have happened without starting a fucking uproar at Gal, and I don't remember there being any uproar at Gal.
oh, there were many uproars, but not about that.
So I don't know. I don't remember. It's all kind of fuzzy to me. We did our share of farming, sure. Everybody knows that, but I don't
I'm
think we did it
shocked.
that phase. But I'm a little bit
Okay.
fuzzy. We have phases where we didn't farm at all and got accused of it, and then we have phases where we did farm, and people were right to accuse us of it. And so like, who fucking remembers which ones are which?
I'm going
Like,
to the pit right now and ask, did Gal farm? I'm just gonna say that. Like,
what?
No,
You're still in the pit?
leave it.
just out of the
Leave
blue,
it.
just
No,
say,
leave it.
did Gal farm?
Leave it, Luke.
Don't start that shit, man.
No, don't.
What are they gonna do? Turn on us?
I mean, no, but it's like, you know who's gonna come out of the woodwork for that is like the fucking douchiest of the douchey. Is the only people that's gonna come out of the woodwork to engage that
Oh,
is
what
gonna
was
be
his name?
I haven't checked the pit in a long
Heath.
time.
Heath, isn't
Heath
it?
and is Leo still in there trying to make the pit a
He's
thing?
probably the only one there. Oh
Hey
shit!
guys, pandas! Hey guys,
The last
pandas!
post is
But
his.
pandas though, pandas, turtles and pandas.
I'm not
He's
even, I haven't
literally the
been in
last
it.
post.
I haven't been in
It's
the
him.
pit for ages.
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
it
neither.
still
what's the
going?
point?
I
I mean,
have
I was
no.
avoiding the pit. I
I'm
think
surprised that's still going. I really am.
I don't know. I think I went in the pit a few times, like when we're trying to get Kingdom Ascent going um, off the ground, and that was a fucking miserable failure. But I don't regret trying to give it a go.
Oh shit! Is Obi in the pit right now?
Obi?
Who? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah,
No.
Obi used to lead KL.
Yeah. I think Bran bumped the post from Obi or something
Oh,
like that,
okay.
and you
But,
responded.
wow.
Uh, should be good. Thanks, you washed out, cunts. But I rule Westeros now. And Obi said, "You cheated, cunts." Oh, it's fine.
It's probably not Obi. It's like Obi's
No, it
account
is.
stayed
No,
active.
this is Facebook. That's his
Yeah, I
account.
know, but like, come on, like, fuck, dude.
No, it's all positive. It's all positive banter.
Okay.
It's cool. It's nice to see. It's cool. I haven't heard from him for a while. Because Bran is bragging that he fucking won Game of Thrones. Of
I mean,
course
if
he
I
is.
was Bran, I would be fucking bragging the same thing, wouldn't you? I mean,
Why would anyone still go look at the pit?
we were just talking about that, dude. Like, dude, that was the point of this. What we were talking about.
What's the point?
I wanted to see who's still there. Who's keeping it alive? I'm not surprised.
Who
I'm
cares?
surprised that Obi responded.
I'm surprised by that too.
I'm surprised none of you know that.
Well, the show ended and we're here now, so it's normal that people peek out.
Yeah, I never went into the pit and fucking said anything about the game ending or the show ending or whatever. I haven't been in there for fucking ever, and I haven't felt inclined to either, to be honest. Fucking mostly just
It
douchebags.
it's yeah. There's
But
a
you
whole
know what?
community. The people that love the show. It was ending it good or bad. It was a fucking social
I did
phenomenon
over
that
the
happened.
years. I wasted some quality hours, at the pit, which is good, man. Like I killed cumulatively, I killed a whole lot of work days in the
I
fucking
think we all
See,
did.
pit.
you use the work very loosely, my friend.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm talking about like I get to work, I got 8 hours to kill. Okay, I could probably kill. I'll pick a thread. I'll write fucking
War and Peace. Yeah.
liberally. I'm just killing time,
Literally.
y'all. I'm just killing time. Listening to music on YouTube, scanning the news. Then I'll get work emails and have to do some work intermittently, and I just got some other pit related shit going on in between taskers, and I killed a lot of work days fucking around in the pit. And like as much of a cesspool as it was, I really appreciate that. Good
Uh,
times. Do you know how much money I made? Like how many paychecks were pure like pit time? If you look, if you count the hours over all the years that I spent fucking around in the pit, I mean I must have cashed several paychecks over the years that were like, full pit time.
Shit.
I'm
Well,
not talking about single paychecks. I'm saying like I don't know
that's
how many
playing you right.
hours over the years I spent
Monthly
in the pit, but let's
monthly
say
salary.
I mean, I get paid every 2 weeks, 80 hours, 40 hours a week, so 80 hours a paycheck. Over the years, I spent way more than 80 hours in the pit cumulatively.
Shit.
So fucking yeah, sure, absolutely.
Well, you did spend a lot of that money on the fucking game, so it's
Well, up
kind
to a
of an
certain point,
even
I did
split.
early. Eventually, I got to a point, and I think this is where fucking DB kind of did us all kind of a favor, but also kind of did itself in. There's only really a finite amount of money you needed to spend on that game in order to be
Correct.
100%
Yep.
combat effective.
Mm.
Like once you had full speed generalist gear, you were fucking combat effective.
Yep.
You really didn't have to spend anything else in order to be competitive in
You
the
just
game.
have to send fight at the right time.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah, I spent money on the game, but up to a point. And then I suddenly like looked around and realized I really don't have to spend money on this game anymore, and I'm still one of the dopest. Like my character is still, one of the strongest out there, and I'm just done spending money on it.
Yeah, that's true. You say that you don't need to spend money, but you do need some key players spending money.
Yeah.
You do need. It makes a difference.
So I think that was good. Like now that the only thing I have left is like I'm kind of playing this pay to win fucking money pit game where like there's definitely a ceiling on how much give a fuck because I'm not gonna spend fucking hella thousands of dollars on this fucking game, right? And Game of Thrones Ascent was not like that. You could be combat effective and compete with the best teams with sort of a relatively minimal investment as long as you bought the right things. And that was a good thing, but it also was a recipe for declining revenue ultimately in the game.
well, that's why
And
they got Tails going afterwards.
they tried to, they did some things to pick up revenue,
And the
sure,
epic
but
gear to evolve as well. Like he had, if you wanted to speed up, to buy the speed up
Yeah,
packs or
yeah,
whatever
but that was
to
kind of
evolve those
a
things.
bandage. The epic gear was
Yeah,
the gear
yeah.
was never going to
so, I
be
never used
a
the shit
profitable
either.
idea.
I ended up getting 2 sets of all those epic targ items just so I could have them for
Never
hero
used
and
them.
for a sword for
Mm.
tournaments. But I
Mm.
never used them in AVA, like ever.
Well, you didn't really need those for AVA anyway.
No, you didn't. So, like, even that, I mean, I guess they probably made more money off when they introduced them and everything. I mean, I certainly spent some more money on trying to get them just to have them. I didn't want to be without them, but I didn't need them, So I don't know. I liked Game of Thrones the set because it was not a pay to win. Like, you had to pay to get up to a certain level of competitiveness, and then that was it. Anyone could play against anyone. But at the same time, like, if it had been a little bit more of a cash grab, they probably could have been able to afford to invest more money in their technology infrastructure, and it wouldn't have crapped out like it did.
Well, I think they probably weren't prepared to scale up that much.
The structure was doomed to fail on many levels, not just that. Like if the objective was to get VP, everybody was going to get it any way they can, and there is no way that you can set a rule that prevents farming or any kind of other exploit.
I would
If
never.
there's a way to get VP, people are going to do it.
And like John Radoff said too, when he originally designed the game and the platform, he did not envision that anyone would ever need more than 5 or 6 sworn swords.
Correct.
Motherfuckers had like 12, 1,500. Like, that's crazy. It just wasn't built for that. So
I don't know. Even if they had a different revenue model, I still wouldn't underestimate DB's ability to mismanage it. So
what I do think is like what maybe would make AVA more enjoyable for everyone was if people would do private leagues. Probably if people want to play by a set of rules that is arbitrary, like people that don't farm or people that don't, I don't know, like support or whatever. Like maybe if
people
they
that
do
just
their
want to
own
kill
league,
swords or
yeah.
Yeah.
So the problem is that you put them all in the same environment, and people that just want to kill swords, like yeah, we can do that too, but we're gonna kill some swords that we set up. People are gonna be pissed about that. Yeah, that makes sense. So, but if you make your own private leagues and people admin like P2P tournaments, it's not a thing in Game of Thrones. It's just you make your own rules. It's private.
Yeah.
So maybe that would keep the game alive, like AVA, private AVA, for some reason. Because if you put a whole bunch of different people on the internet together, you're gonna get shit. So
Oh my god.
that's what happens.
This game I'm
Games,
playing right now
political,
just had
whatever.
like this massive hacking scandal. Like, motherfuckers are out there not just like scripting, they're hacking.
Where?
In this game I'm playing now, this Vikings
Oh
game.
yeah.
The one
Every
that I said
game
that's
that I
pay to win.
checked, yeah.
It's straight up like massive, like 2,000 accounts got taken over surreptitiously by a black hat. Like, motherfuckers are out there getting nasty with it, like real nasty.
You can see that in every message board of every online game that's out there.
Man, that
Like,
sucks so bad.
yeah, I downloaded something to play for 5 minutes every day, like a soccer game or whatever. And the first thing that I saw was like take down the hackers, the cheaters, the bots, and we'll play the game. Like, it was on every message, spamming everywhere, like clean your game, clean your game. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fucked up. I did some quick math, and not exactly. Most people just suck at the game. Usually, okay. I'm not saying there's no hacking, but like 70% of the people that say cheater, they just suck at the game. They don't understand how people do things. So that always distorts the conversation. But yeah, it's everywhere because if you give somebody a problem, people are gonna try to solve it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how you play the game. You
Yeah,
give
I get.
people a set of rules, and you try to you study, you pro them, and you try to break them, try to beat the game.
Yeah, I
It's what
guess it's.
competitive people do.
I guess it's human nature. Whatever. That was the Game of Thrones. Ascent was the first like online game I ever played, and
Me too.
this other one is I guess just the second. But I noticed like okay, so the people who play this game and take it seriously obviously have deeper pockets because it's one of those cash grab games.
Yeah.
But I noticed that the general quality of leadership in these games is not as good as it was in Game of Thrones Ascent. And I say that from knowing various clan leaders and also knowing what kind of like commitment and what kind of effort that it took to organize a team like to keep it competitive and to get it to all click the same button from everywhere around the world in the same 10-second window
Mm.
and just what it took to orchestrate and keep a team together in Game of Thrones Ascent. I now kind of see it for more impressive than I realized that it was before I started playing another game. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and it was about the people, not the game.
I think the
Platform
way the
was
game was designed, I think the way Game of Thrones Ascent was designed, it kind of required
it required people to find a
better
solution.
leadership. Yeah, it
Yeah,
required better organization and leadership than this other game that I'm playing now. And this other game I'm playing now has so many more players and it's so much better funded and it runs so much better and
yeah.
there's money behind it. But just the general it doesn't require leaders it doesn't require the level of leadership that Game of Thrones Ascent did. So I hope I'm
Uh,
saying that right.
yeah.
So for
And the
for
game,
for
this
a
game
small
was
underfunded fucking quirky for a quirky underfunded broken ass game as it was, I think that Game of Thrones Ascent had some really great leaders on a lot of teams.
it
And
benefited from the fact that it had Game of Thrones written on it. It brought a certain number of people, like the fandom of the show.
then that
Uh,
ultimately became
if it didn't have that skin, if it didn't have that Game of Thrones thing, people would just play it for like a month and just not not worry about it. Like you said, like you didn't need to spend money on shit to be effective, but everybody wanted to have like a fucking dragon. Everybody wanted to have like the
yeah,
armor. Like
yeah.
you don't need to use it.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Game of Thrones, man.
And without the Game of Thrones tag, most of us probably would not have found the game.
I would not have found the
Correct.
game
Yeah,
without the tag. Yeah.
Uh,
it was the right time. Like you just yeah, the right time to make this game. Didn't need to be good.
And it wasn't.
I wasn't. Um,
I don't know. I liked it.
Well, it had some good points. Not everything, but it had some good
mm.
points.
Yeah.
Like compared to the other games that are available now, they all seem to be the same kind of thing. And if you
They
want to play
do.
with friends, you can't be like if you're not on the same server, you can't play the people you want to play. So
It's
that's the
true,
one
but
thing that's
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if you could choose your server, then it's fine. Because, like I said, like if you have put everyone in the same pot,
mm,
uh, um, just look at the pit. Look, everybody's there. And, like everybody plays a different style. Everybody has an opinion about how other people play, and most
mm,
people don't know how to play. So a
yeah.
handful of people just pummel the noobs down till they
Mm,
don't like it. Like make private leagues. Yeah, probably the best way is to make private leagues.
Do you know, in the end, I think that probably the people who play GoTA on small teams, casually, they probably did it right. You know,
Yeah, they
just
didn't
for
do it
the
right. No.
enjoyment, for the amount of enjoyment versus investment and whatnot. You know, the people who never got up to the top level and started
Yeah,
seeing fucking how
that was fun.
nasty it gets at the top, right? The people who
I don't
just
know.
like
That's
I had a
true.
lot of fun winning at the top.
I had a lot of fun winning at the top as well. Don't get me wrong, but there's some about it like I also know that the game fucking changed at that level, man. Like uh
It becomes well, not a game anymore. It's more. It becomes more like a job.
Yeah.
When you are like for 4 hours trying to figure out how you're going to get 10 minutes to get something to eat, you have a
yeah.
problem,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Like there are people who played GoTA for years and
Miss a
never
meal.
yeah, dude, and never had to worry about that shit, you know? I'd make a pot of coffee, but I'd be way too busy to even pour a cup.
Yeah.
And by the time I poured a
yeah,
cup,
yeah,
the whole
yeah.
pot
It
was cold,
was
right?
cold. Yeah.
So I put it in the microwave for like 2 minutes, and by the time it was like hours before I could take it out of the microwave, and then it was cold again. Like that shit is crazy. This is crazy.
I
I
could
mean, it was a
not do
lot of
that.
fun to win at that level, but
Hey guys, I
Yeah,
gotta
it's a lot
run.
of work.
Hey, thanks for putting this on, Luke. See you next time.
Yeah, man.
later, Vic.
All right, bye, Vic.
Bye, man.
Bye.
So like, Jen was not. I thought she was gonna be on.
I think she popped on and didn't say anything, and then like popped off. I think I saw her email address pop up at one point.
We couldn't get Dane either.
I thought I saw him in there earlier.
Yeah, he was having a few problems getting on, and then family had to do that stuff.
Oh, yeah, of
Uh,
course. Yeah.
this actually went a lot better than I expected. When I popped in, like, oh, we're gonna do a podcast, I was like, no basis to know that it was gonna work or not. I didn't know if you guys wanted, if you guys were able to do that because my schedule is also fucked. I had a good day today to do this. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna announce it and see who comes in. This
That
was
sounds
great.
good. Well, we have
That's the
been on
best
for
way to
3
do it.
hours. Where are you gonna put this thing?
Where I'm gonna put it, I don't know, man. I'm like Jon Snow. I don't know where to put it.
Don't you know where to put it?
uh, Mal asked for the link. I'm going to give her a link, but I'm gonna give you guys the link and you share it because I don't know. I can't invite everyone. Probably gonna leave people out, but um,
Post it
I don't know.
on the pages, man. On
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna post
Yeah.
it on the page.
yeah.
Put it in the elf page.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it on all of them.
Well, it's been 3 hours. I think we should wrap it up.
Yeah, we should because I have to work in a few hours.
Oh shucks.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
supposed to have been working for 2.5 hours. So
Oh, you're doing the John thing.
yeah.
I'm supposed to be working, but I'm not.
yeah,
and
good thing I'm my
and
own boss.
It's a
ah,
it's a holiday
sweet.
It's a holiday Monday for us.
Yeah.
Us too.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
for me.
It's Memorial Day. Anyway,
But
love
put
you
that
guys,
in
and I miss you
the
guys, and thanks for doing the podcast.
Yeah,
and then
thanks, Luke.
thanks for coming, man.
Thank you, Luke.
I'll catch you guys later.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, bye. I'm off to my pit.
Good night, Angie.
Good night.
Right.
It's 2:30 here.
Yep. Yoshi, get to bed. You're snoring. Probably in the chair. Get to bed, man. Maja, you're watching the show. Thanks for coming in.